Hello, YouTube land. We're live.
Hi, I'm YouTube. I mean, no,
Mm,
I'm really not.
okay, let me just format my card.
That was an excellent start.
We've got a couple of pre-checks you got to do here.
So after 3 hours of Aikido, we decided to go for wings and pints. Those 2 pints hit a lot harder than I anticipated. No, they hit exactly as hard as I anticipated. I am a basket of ankle and knee injuries that is being held together by a delicious local amber brew. So
I was going to get a Guinness Blonde, but I figured it's the Guinness that isn't Guinness. So what the taco's up with that?
Blasphemy. That just sounds wrong.
and it's not even brewed in Ireland. It's brewed in the States.
Exactly. It's from their new Brewers series, where we brew it at places that aren't as good as we are.
Okay.
Like I didn't mind Guinness Blonde. It just tasted like every other blonde beer. You know, excuse me.
That's good. That's gonna make great radio.
That's gonna be great audio.
All right. So hello, YouTube land. Up, we have a comment already.
Hi, Shane.
It's not Shane. It's because it's 4 a.m. there, and Shane has to go to sleep.
Oh.
Believe it or not. No, you're not YouTube. You don't bring tons and tons and tons of money from the interwebs. No, I don't.
Nope, not. Hey, Jax.
Hi, Jax. Which, if you are in the chat, you'll notice that Jax has a little wrench next to his name. It means he's a moderator.
Dum.
Yeah, I was able to do that.
In the chat because I can't see any comments.
You got to go to the YouTube page, and then you pop out the chat and then close the window so that you don't end up getting it playing in your headphones. But I'll read all the things. So
yeah, I'm good with that. I'll be clueless as usual.
I has the power.
Yes, Jack says I has the power. I am recording now. Excellent. So this is the 100th episode of Nutty Bites, and I'm going to do this before I start the intro. To commemorate, we're going to get fancy drunk. We've got a nice Shiraz from Peninsula Ridge.
Hey, Nutty, what happened the last time you drank wine during a recording?
Okay, when I drank the bottle by myself, it wasn't good. Apparently it was hysterical for other people.
It was fantastic.
But I'm not drinking this by myself, and we're not recording many episodes. So that's right. It's a twist off, but it's a good twist off. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's just a beautiful sound.
Thank you, love. Hey, Jax, I hope you got a drink of some kind.
Yeah. And my CHRSR buddies are all like, oh my God, she's drinking near the equipment, but there's a mixer right over there. Yeah, this is what you get to do when the studio's in your own house.
So, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes?
A glass?
Oh, yes.
Yes. To 100 episodes and to at least 100 more. Cheers.
Indeed.
Cheers. So, just quick refresher. I will... Do you like?
Well, I know.
Stop making those noises. Oh, stop.
It hits a little mild.
Yeah.
At first I didn't think it was wine. I was like, did you buy grape juice? But it hits a little mild, but it finishes nice. No, it's not bad. I like that.
It's a fruity Shiraz.
I need to fix something.
Which
I realize my not coming through my headset.
Ah.
There is no snare in my headphones.
Why are my headphones?
Are we using your internal mic?
Jax, I need more snare in my headphones.
I'm not sure you can moderate that.
Ban me, moderator. You don't have the stones.
You're not in the chat.
Hooray!
You can't ban the this part.
Oh.
What the heck? I had it working 2 minutes ago, and now it's not working.
All right. While the serial killer is doing that, no, that's not what I want. While he is doing, we have 2 viewers now. While he is doing that,
the other one's Shane.
No, Shane said he can't make it. He's really bummed. I'm going to tweet this out.
My audio options.
Okay. We are live now. Nutty Bites.
Yeah, so I
100.
gotta say, Jack, thank you very much for all the work you do for us,
Yes.
all the quality control and everything else,
And being a patron.
and of course being a patron. Thank you for everything. Hope to have you around for a whole lot longer.
Yes. Come visit. That was.
Okay, that fixed it. At least now I don't have my sound playing into the video.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay.
I'm somewhat half sort of professional-ish.
Sound better too. That's good.
Well, no, he still sounds like the serial killer.
No, but I mean, you're more bass there.
Right. It's as good as
Less
he's gonna
tinny.
sound is what he's doing now.
Just wait until I start using my Batman appropriate voice for today.
Oh no.
Ooh. Excellent. All right. So I
Not
will.
the official worship voice.
Oh boy. I will do the intro. When you think you're gonna make noise or aren't talking, you can mute yourself. Just make sure to unmute yourself. Just remember, we don't say swear words. Don't say it because we're still on YouTube.
Taco.
We don't swear.
Taco.
Although it's funny.
Taco.
Yeah. Because we have the voice of our swears with us right now.
Burrito.
So I'm gonna do the intro, introduce everybody, then I'm gonna go into a little bit about what we're gonna talk about, and we're gonna go from there. All right. Hello, Mixed Nutcases. This is New Chess, and I've got a very, very, very special episode of Nutty Bites for you. This episode is awesome indeed. This is the 100th episode. That's not counting dog days for summer or Christmas podcasts or any of the bonuses, but 100 official episodes. And we've been doing this podcast for 6 years. May seem kind of a low milestone for a 6-year-old podcast, but let's remember this started out as a monthly podcast and now it's a twice monthly podcast. And so to celebrate with me, I have, as usual.
Hi, I'm very, very, very special.
I mean, special.
Tech, the antagonist.
And we have back from our very first Nutty Debate, our first guest.
It is I, the serial killer. Not using my special themed appropriate voice yet.
Okay. So what we're doing here is we're going to be revisiting, kind of going back to the early days. We're going to revisit one of the first Nutty Bites, Nutty Debates we've ever done. And that is, we're going to expand upon it a little bit, but that was, who's your favorite Batman? And then it went into, who's your favorite Joker? Now, why are we doing this again? Because things have changed. We've got a new Batman we need to consider. It's very important. We got 2 new Batmen. Batsmen that we need to consider. And we need to address these things. And we're also going to expand, if we've got time, into other new comic adaptations. And with us while we record this live, we have 2 of our patrons with us. We've got Jax. Hi, Jax. And we've got Jason Banks, who left Mass Effect for us. So we should feel special.
Hi, Daddy.
And before we go in, I am going to thank our patrons because of our patrons, we are doing this twice a month. That means you are getting twice as much Nutty Bites for your ear holes. And who doesn't want more of that? Well,
so this is all their fault.
This is all their fault.
Thanks, guys.
And it's pretty great to have oh my gosh. I'm sorry, but Timba is in the chat.
And it appears that Timba is now trolling us.
Yes, because he says Batman is the worst hero ever.
Not entirely wrong.
Yay!
Let's not derail the right. So let's thank our patron, and then we'll move on to the derailing conversation.
Okay. Well, we want to thank Jason Banks for being our top dollar
Thanks,
patron.
Daddy.
We want to thank Beth. We want to thank Aaron. We want to thank Aurora Lee. We want to thank Susan. We want to thank Melissa, the Bathtub Mermaid. Check out her podcast. We want to thank Susanna. We want to thank Frank. We want to thank Kinsey. Check out Brazilianisms. We want to thank Ian. Ian does the Down Below podcast, and they are just wrapping up on their Babylon 5 podcast. We want to thank Harold. We want to thank Jen of the Talk Nerdy to Me podcast. We want to thank Patrick Scafito. We want to thank Shane Poole, our diehard fan of the Red Dwarf Introcast. We want to thank Rich the TT. We want to thank Dagny of I don't know a podcast, sorry. We want to thank Mike. We want to thank Ken from Kenzoid's Autonomous Zone. And we want to thank Lynette from the Bycast. And you should check out all of those podcasts. And if I had promos for all of them, you'd hear them. But all the ones I have promos for, you have already heard them. So let's get started. Our favorite Batman. So let's remember, it was pretty much a group consensus that Kevin Conroy was our favorite Batman.
Right, so Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman from the animated series, is our favorite Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And
with the caveat that I said that Michael Keaton was my favorite Bruce Wayne.
Sure.
That there's a difference.
But the voice that Kevin Conroy can put, and the inflection and the warmth and the character, both as Bruce Wayne and as Batman, makes him at least my favorite. And I think of all the adaptations, my favorite storyline of the Batmans is the Arkham series of video games. And I've just been going through lately playing the last one, Arkham Knight, on PS4. And it's a pretty bad game, and it relies too heavily on the Batmobile being a tank that can run over people, but for some reason doesn't kill them. It's a bizarre game, but it's got that great animated series voice cast that makes it so redeemable. And Kevin Conroy as Batman, oh my stars. But has been surpassed as my favorite Batman.
Yes, things have changed. As we said, there have been 2 different Batmen since then. So is one of them a voice for Arkham games?
Negative. One of them is Will Arnett's Batman from the Lego Batman movies, who stole the first Lego movie entirely.
Yes, and I'm quite aware of that one.
And of course,
Horseman is Batman.
Yes,
we're forgetting because he is the future Ben Affleck.
Oh,
I still haven't seen Batman v Superman.
No, but you did see him in the cutscene of Suicide Squad.
Yes,
right.
Ben
about Batfleck.
Batfleckman, yes.
Batfleck.
Who he certainly has a presence. I'm not sure I can judge him by either of the movies he's been in, because unfortunately they were fairly weak movies as far as DC goes.
Didn't that movie suffer from a horrible case of Zack Snyder?
Yes, indeed. It suffered from Zack Snyder wants to be overly religious with Superman-ism.
But I have to say, I'm not hating on Batfleck.
No, I'm not, because Ben Affleck has definitely got the chops to be able to pull it off if he is
Still
committed.
Better than Bat Nipples.
Yeah. He makes a very good Bruce Wayne. He cuts a perfect figure for Bruce Wayne, and he seems to be trying to play that older, tired Bruce Wayne that is needed by the mythology of Batman v Superman. He's been at it for quite some time, and he's growing tired, and that's why he's trying to form the Justice League. Although in DC's ham-fisted way, they're trying entirely too quickly in one movie to make that happen. So, yeah. And then Suicide Squad, it was just that one little teaser, which was nice. It shows that he can be a ruthless Bruce Wayne as well. But no, he's definitely not my new favorite.
I've only seen the Suicide Squad and a couple of scenes from the trailer for Aquaman, or is it Justice League where he's trying to recruit Aquaman? I'm just watching it for what's Khal Drogo's name again? Jason Momoa. I couldn't remember his name. He's Khal Drogo. I was watching that for Khal Drogo, and so that's all I really have to judge Batfleck on.
Yeah.
I'm not hating it, but I'm still gonna put him right there in a nice steady middle.
I'll give it the fact that he's got the
Kilmer?
respect. He's got the respect for the character. I don't know
Yeah,
whether he's been given the good venue yet to show that, but he's got the respect for the character.
Yeah, I think he's hand and fist over Clooney and Kilmer.
Because we know Kevin Smith would kick his ass if he didn't make a good Batman movie.
I
You kick his hoop, you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's why the Lego Batman movie was such a massive success, and why I loved it so much, and why Will Arnett's performance shone so much. It's something that you just said, that it's the love for the character. He has the passion for the character, and he's been given a venue to show for it. And Will Arnett doing his "I am Batman" voice is incredible. And the fact that I was blown away that in the bajillion movies that they've made, even that weird time in the 60s, which was a wonderful joke to throw into the movie, that with all of that stuff that they did, all of the fact that it's a stupid animated kids movie sponsored by a Danish toy company, they showed more love and more passion for the source material and understanding of the main characters than any of the live action movies I've seen so far. That they get the Joker, they got Harley Quinn, they got Robin,
Yes.
they got Batman, and they did it in such an honest and loving way while completely having fun with it and completely making it their own thing.
Yes.
And I love that every adaptation is canon. And they reference it all.
Condiment King.
You stole my thunder. That was going to say the two words.
Not just that, but the fact that they reference the parade with Prince music in the middle of downtown with raining dollars and everybody getting sick. They reference 66 Batman a couple of times.
Yeah.
And they're able to make everything that's canon work. And I really think that Will Arnett's Batman is definitely my number one Batman right now.
Yeah.
Here's the kicker: is because much Bruce Wayne, it's pretty much Batman all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So is his Bruce Wayne
microwaving his lobster thermidor?
Yes.
The question I guess is, does it hold up without Bruce Wayne being a major element? Does he hold up without the need for Bruce Wayne? Because when we look at Michael Keaton, he's a good Bruce Wayne, but not the best Batman.
Right.
When we look at,
I think Batfleck might even be a better Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
Than a better Batman than Keaton.
Yes. When we look at George Clooney, he was kind of a good Bruce Wayne, but a horrible Batman.
No, he wasn't good at any of those things.
What about Val Kilmer?
He wasn't good at any of them either.
I'll give Val Kilmer that he had the presence to be Batman.
No.
But not I don't think he had the gravitas, to use the fanciest word possible. But Christian Bale had the all-round package.
Mm-hmm.
He had
absolutely.
He was a good presence as Batman. He definitely put his all into trying to be as physical as he needed to be and fight in that realistic way and be there and actually do his own work. And he was a good, subdued, especially towards the latter movies, tired Batman. Or Bruce Wayne. He was that, I'm trying to lead the double life and it really isn't easy. It's not that flawless, the old Adam West days where, oh yes, I can wear these two disguises perfectly fine. Everything is sunshine and rainbows.
But I like that. I like the Nolan trilogy. I had my problems with them, of course. And the fact that the villain spent the entire movie talking like this was annoying as hell. But
you mean Deckard Bane? Hello, Batman. Stay a while and listen.
It was that was horrible. But I liked that trilogy. I thought they were well done, and Anne Hathaway in leather pants, but not my favorite.
I like the trilogy. I think that they're good movies. It's one of the few successes DC has in live action so far.
Yes.
But I'm not as and I like Christian Bale as an actor.
Yes.
I'm sure if I knew him in person, I wouldn't like him very much, but I like him as an actor, and I've liked him since Newsies. I am not as much a fan of his Batman or his Bruce Wayne. Honestly,
Well, and he's lacking one key thing:
mm.
a ninth ab.
Yes, a ninth ab, exactly. And that's what puts Will Arnett's Batman above all other Batmen.
But
It's
The ninth ab. But I put Christian Bale again in the middle of the pack there.
what really saved Christian Bale in that trilogy was the fact that he had an amazing supporting cast.
yes.
Um,
I mean, even with
Alfred.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman and Anne
Even-
Hathaway and Katie Holmes and all the
even
rest.
just like
and,
the little background stuff in there, like the background characters, the supporting players, everybody was on point. I mean, you can say what you want about his voice, but Tom Hardy was a good casting for it. They just made a really horrible decision to mask his voice.
I had hoped going in.
Sorry, Sir Michael Caine, as Mr. Banks reminds us.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Of course. The casting for Bane, having just played 2 of the Arkham games when the movie came out, and knowing that Bane was going to be the villain, I really wanted it to be the massive luchador Bane.
Yeah, I wanted the San Priscan prisoner. Yeah, grew up in a prison, had the rough life, and they paid some respect to that.
Right, but it's the voice actor that they had playing it in the games, whose name I don't know. I'm sorry, but it was just amazing, and it was he's jammed full of Joker toxin, and he's just this big crazy luchador. Was so much better than Deckard Bane. Stay a while and listen. Yes,
you know what we needed? We needed the guy from the Clooney Batman, the Bane from Clooney's Batman world, with a better voice and a presence,
and actually act. Wasn't that a wrestler?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was some generic pro wrestler they picked up somewhere.
I think it was known at the time, but I can't
telling me
remember.
we couldn't get Batista to play that?
Oh, that would have been good.
Ooh.
He was too busy doing Guardians of the Galaxy.
I know, and he's
that was later.
Yeah, he's an amazing Drax, but you're telling me that Batista couldn't have done a great Bane?
Yeah.
Nice. Ooh, or The Rock.
No.
Yeah.
No, the Rock's got the physical presence, but he's too nice a guy. Even when he's trying to be a badass, I don't think he really comes off as a badass.
But the thing that was the Nolan was trying to push about Bane is that Bane thinks he's the good guy and thinks he has the right motives, and The Rock could definitely sell that. So adding on to this, who's your favorite Alfred?
I'm sorry, I was just looking at the actor for Bane. His name is apparently Jeep Swenson.
Okay, that's no one I know.
And kudos to him because he did a great job.
Yes.
Favorite Batman? Oh, sorry, favorite Alfred? Yeah, is Sir Michael Caine.
Sir Michael Caine.
There's that one line in the thing where he's talking about, you have to protect the people that you love, and you have to do these things for the people. Oh, you're talking about this girl? Actually, no, sir. I was talking about myself. And I thought that line and the other ones like it were just delivered so wonderfully, so deadpan, so Alfred.
I'm on a fence, and I know Tech can't speak to this, but it's between Michael Caine and the guy from Gotham.
I just looked up his name, Sean Pertwee.
Yeah, that's it, Pertwee.
And now this is the thing.
No, I don't think so.
The other Pertwee, the Doctor Who actor?
I don't think so.
I'm not entirely sure, but that's the thing we seem to have missed. We have another Bruce Wayne as well. Oh wait, let's not include him.
No, I don't include him.
What?
From Gotham. He's
the kid from Gotham, who is honestly the first season I could not stand that kid one bit for all the wrong reasons.
The only reason to have the Bruce Wayne in that show at all is so that we get Selena Kyle scenes.
Okay,
and so that we have Alfred, because Alfred is again amazing in that.
Okay, so having not watched Gotham,
okay,
and understanding that now this kid is a horrible actor in
No,
playing a
it's
horrible
just
role.
it's a bad role.
Right. So better or worse than Jake Lloyd in episode 1?
Oh, much better. Much better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, see, this kid, it's not his fault as an actor. It is they make Bruce Wayne through the entire first season of the show into a clueless, whiny, insolent brat. He is not at all the young man that will become the Bruce Wayne we know and love.
Joffrey Baratheon?
No, Joffrey was actually more well-mannered in some ways.
Oh, you know what?
Lucius Malfoy?
I lied.
There we
John
go.
Pertwee is John Pertwee's. I can't say it now.
Yeah.
Stupid red wine. John Pertwee. Thank you. His son.
Wait, Bruce Wayne is the son of Doctor Who?
No.
No, Alfred.
Alfred.
Alfred is the
Pennyworth.
son of Doctor Who.
Yes.
This makes a lot of sense now. It
sent
does
his
make
son.
a lot of sense that the butler that keeps the whole thing together is a Time Lord.
You know, yeah. And I would honestly put him as I would put Gotham's Alfred as my favorite only because he's had more time to develop as a character.
Yeah.
And he does develop in really good ways. You get to see a lot of that reluctant fatherhood, that reluctant father figure in him that you don't get in screen time in the movies. Because in the movies, he has to be spot on. He has to be at his best. He can't have weak moments because he is, well, a supporting character can't have that time to do that. He needs to be the Rock. Not the Rock, but a Rock. Yes. Oh, the Rock as Alfred would be just demented.
No. So in the chat, we've got Jason says that he's stuck between Michael Caine and the one from Batman v Superman. So XK, the Alfred from Batman versus Superman. Your thoughts? Because we haven't seen it.
I honestly can't remember him. That's
so he
not a
doesn't
good
count.
thing. Well, let's see. I just want to see who it was. Oh, wait a second. No, he's not doing it for me.
So the Alfred that gave the best guilt trip, though, I will say, is from Lego Batman.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine back to what you guys were saying about Alfred being a Rock. Now imagining the Rock as Alfred, and that would be great. It's like, will you take your lobster thermidor on the veranda or in the foyer? Well, actually, it doesn't matter where you're going to take your lobster thermidor.
And I just realized that the Batman v Superman was Jeremy Irons, who is like,
and you didn't
honestly,
remember that.
The phenomenal actor, but he was such a minor part of such a spot fest of a movie, to use a wrestling term. It was spot after spot of just big action scenes with very little substance, and he couldn't survive it in my mind.
Yeah, that's such a waste on casting, really.
Yeah.
Timba says, "Can you smell what Alfred is cooking?"
Is it lobster thermidor?
Oh, the Rock.
I know,
Okay,
I know. But I was making a Lego Batman.
If it was,
yes.
if the Rock was Alfred, it would be pancakes.
Pancakes.
Oh, the pancakes.
So Jax and
who needs pants?
Jason are quoting their favorite quotes. What is the point of all those push-ups if you can't even lift a bloody log? And why do we fall, Master Wayne? So we can pick ourselves back up. Okay, so has our opinions on the best Joker changed at all? And please try to remember to use proper names this time.
Right. So to remember the joke from the first Nutty Debate, the fact that we spent the entire time thinking that the Batman 66 Joker was played, oh man, we said Sid Caesar for the entire episode instead of Cesar Romero.
Yeah.
We knew which one it was.
Right.
We just had the name wrong.
Right.
You know what?
Defense, to take you back 6 years ago.
That's technically
we
my
recorded.
fault.
It is your fault. Everything's your fault. We recorded the first 3 Nutty Debates in the basement of Tech's parents' house over Christmas break, and
Drunk.
Yeah, we had some wobbly pops beforehand. So
I do believe those episodes open with the sound of us cracking beer.
Maybe I don't remember. It's been a while since I edited it. So at the time we had said that I think we all agreed that Mark Hamill was our favorite Joker. with Cesar Romero as a
Yes.
runner-up.
Mhm.
Now, with the addition of Patton Oswalt and Jared Leto, and I think that's it, because Heath Ledger was that year. Any changes on favorite Jokers?
I have a small aside that's a back because I forgot to credit one of my favorite Batman performances of all time. And that would be, oh, great. Now I'm going to forget his name. My boy Pete Holmes as Badman. I don't know if you've ever seen his Batman series, but it's him being the most incompetently clueless Batman you will ever see.
Okay.
If you have not seen it, I seriously recommend looking it up. There is one that especially stands out where he is on the roof of the Gotham PD right by the bat signal. The commissioner has just called him over, and he's talking to the commissioner, and the commissioner takes off his glasses, and he goes, "Oh my, where did the commissioner go? Where did you take him?" And it's like, Batman, it's okay, it's me. Where's the commissioner? And he puts on his glasses, and he goes, "Commissioner, oh, this other guy was here. I thought he kidnapped you." It is hysterically bad, yet one of the best things I have ever seen, because that's, again, a gleeful poking of fun at a character, and he does so well. Patton Oswalt shows up in that as well as Penguin.
Is that the one where he's Penguin? Okay,
Yes.
So Patton Oswalt plays the Joker in the Lego movie. I'm pretty sure. I think that's who it was. And I just felt it was a good Joker, but I felt it was so wasted because his Penguin was outstanding. And I have never, well, I think Gotham does a different take on Penguin, but in the movies, like Danny DeVito's Penguin was awful, and it just made me so upset.
So
and the 66 Batman Penguin was Meredith Baxter, is that his name? I don't remember. I'm terrible at this. His Penguin was, the animated series was really the only one that was passable.
The Arkham Penguin with the Coke bottle bottom as his monocle is a fantastic penguin. The thing that I'll say about the Joker in the Lego Batman, it's the only Joker that has gotten the grin anywhere near what I see in my head.
So we are doing a slight disservice to the man who played the Lego Batman Joker, however. It is one of my fellow sweaty, large, bearded guys, Zach Galifianakis.
That's right. It
was
the Joker.
Sorry,
Mr.
wrong guy. And Timba just said it. He's like, Lego Batman is Zach Galifianakis.
Yes.
I can't say that because there's Galifianakis, how you spell it, all in one word.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But it's the grin that they got on the character's head that went all the way around. It was just this huge toothy smile. I thought was super well done.
So was Patton Oswalt in that movie at all?
No, I don't.
Am I just making stuff up?
I think was he Robin?
No.
Wait, give me a second here. Patton Oswalt.
Oh, I'm just going to keep talking while you guys Google everything.
I don't think
Mark Hamill is still my Joker, and I don't see anybody dethroning him in the near wild. It's just it's what we discussed in the first episode. It's the laugh. It's the fact that he understands the Joker, that the Joker is unhinged, and I really don't think that the Heath Ledger Joker would get nearly as much love as he does if he hadn't died. And this might sound a little cruel, but I don't think the Heath Ledger Joker was that good. It was great. It was a good performance, but it was only one side of the Joker. And the Joker is multifaceted. The Joker is unhinged. He is a rolling die bouncing down the stairs, and you don't know where it's going to land. He could murder your entire family or give you $1 million because it all depends what he thinks is funny. And that's the Joker. And I think Mark Hamill's the only one that comes close. And Zach Galifianakis did actually a really good job of portraying that. Heath Ledger was only one side. It was the angry Joker. It was I don't think there was any time in that movie that he smiled.
I he definitely grimaced a few times, but I think that was an intentional thing. I don't think he was the Joker that we know and love from growing up. He was not our nostalgic Joker.
Chris Nolan wanting to be the grim dark darkest grim dark that ever grimmed it.
No, well, there is an argument for that, but there's a theory that's floated around on the internet for a while that he is a veteran of some sort that has had a break. That if you look at the training he has, the timing he has, the access he has, the people he knows, that he is, but at the same time.
So that's DC trying to turn the Joker into the Punisher?
I think so.
And that's exactly what it seems like. Is it is their
take
on a more.
I like Frank Castle better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, especially I'll go into that in the other part of this later.
Yeah. Oh, the guy from Daredevil?
Yeah. Wait. So, all right. So I think we've pretty much done. So the new Jokers that we've had are pretty good, but nobody's knocking Mark Hamill.
We didn't talk about the elephant in the room, and that is Joker's fanboy, Jared Leto.
Okay, I'm going to talk about that.
He had
absolutely.
Yeah. I don't mind it.
Mm.
And here's the unpopular opinion. Everybody hates on Suicide Squad. I kind of dug it. There's editing issues, that is for sure, and there's a bunch of problems that I have with it, but I kind of dug the movie, and I really enjoyed it. And it could be the fact that I went in with very low expectations, but very low expectations.
I agree. I enjoy Suicide Squad. I'm not a hater. It's probably DC's best movie for a while. The problem I have with him being there and being part of it is he's not a member of the Suicide Squad. He is not.
But he always shows up in Suicide Squad comics.
He does, but that's still a rare thing when he shows up there. The first entire year of the New 52 run, he was a tease. He wasn't a presence.
Yeah, but every time they do an adaptation, anytime we've ever seen a Suicide Squad, now granted that's only in animations, but anytime they've ever animated it, the Joker is always involved somehow.
And this could have been the time they bucked the trend. It could have been the time that they went and said, he's there, we'll have a small bit, but he's not stealing the show, which is really, frankly, what he did. And that's a little bit of what I got a problem with him for.
See, and I don't think that he stole the show, because to me, and I could be wrong here, and I think the reason why a lot of people think he stole the show is because they made the whole trailer about him, or they were expecting it to be a Joker movie because he was all over the trailer. To me, he was an accessory to Harley, and he was there for Harley's backstory. But there's one little nitpick I have there, but we're not going to get into that because it's not Suicide Squad.
The accessory that Harley needed in that movie was the accent that they didn't give her because Margot Robbie couldn't do it. So what I needed to hear was an "Oh, Mr. J," not actually have Mr. J in the movie. Mr. J, excuse me. And the other thing, Jared Leto's Joker is the only one to come close to Mark Hamill for what I think is an unhinged Joker. There's that one scene that was in the trailer when, "Are you going to kill me?" "Oh, I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to hurt you really, really, really bad."
And I seem like I'm hating on him a lot. I'll give you that, because he did. I mean, genuinely, when you hear the stories, he creeped everybody else on the set out with how he
with the 3,000 different origin stories and how they're all heartbreaking, but they're all obviously lies.
Shipping them the rats.
And that's another case of, and I don't think I would enjoy being friends with the actor. And as actor, like person, Jared Leto, no, thank you. He's done some roles that I think are really good. He's made some music that's not bad.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Is that his band?
I guess what part of it, and it is, yes. But I think part of it is too for me that I look at him and he's got tattoos of himself on himself. It almost looks like he's got all of those.
So does Steve-O.
We
all love him.
No, but that was in the concept. That was in the concept, not in what ended up in the movie. Yeah. And that's the other thing that's really bad about this is we saw way too much of Joker before the movie, and everybody freaked out because his tattoo said "ha ha 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 ha." They didn't actually say that in the movie.
Yeah, but that's funny.
And I think you're right. It might be that a little bit of it was that overdose of hype. I just realized though, the moment where he showed up where it was pitch perfect, when he was wearing the tuxedo,
Yes.
when he was in the helicopter with the tuxedo,
Yes,
that
was
was
so
a spot on perfect Joker moment. It was that rescue that isn't quite really a decent rescue. The well, just leave her. You know, that there was a perfect Joker Harley interaction. I think there was too much of the I'm up in the club gangster Joker before that.
Sure.
I didn't mind it. Okay, so we've covered Penguin, we've covered Joker, we've covered Alfred. I just want to tip my hat to Gary Oldman, Jim Gordon, and Gotham's Jim Gordon, both pretty awesome.
Oh yes.
Hey, how about that time that Robin was played by Cobra Commander?
Oh yeah, you're right.
How about that time that Robin was played by Michael Cera and I wasn't completely annoyed by him?
Or that time that Robin was played by my former teenage crush and he sucked.
How about that time that the Joker was played by everybody's former teenage crush? Because wasn't Jared Leto one of those Tiger Beat guys for a while?
Jordan Catalano. It's Jordan Catalano. Sorry. Everyone who saw My So-Called Life knows what I'm talking about. So we're going to move on to other comic adaptations. And there's a couple that I want to hit because there have been a couple of incarnations. We've got a new Spider-Man coming out. So that's 3 big movie Spider-Man. Who's our favorite Spider-Man so far?
And we still don't get a Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Okay. I know, right?
I'm sorry. I love the new kid so much.
Oh,
he's
so funny. So good.
He's got an amazing sense of comedic timing. He's just awkward enough for the role. Like,
and Andrew Garfield,
Andrew Garfield never came off as awkward to me. He came off as smarmy.
He's actually like a realistic nerdy kid, not oh my gosh, I'm such an awkwardly nerdy guy, but you know, the moment I take my glasses off and get my spider powers, I'm gonna be hunky.
And here's my problem with Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. You're telling me that with all of that hair, Matt Smith level of like Doctor Who pompadour, that all of a sudden he throws the hood on and it all disappears and it's just gone and perfectly coiffed? No.
That's because the stuntman doesn't have the hair.
Right, exactly. No, because that stuff's got to poof.
As I agree with Timba in the chat, the new Spider-Man is gold. Yeah. And I'm sorry, Aunt May as Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. I am loving this because it's a new take on Aunt May. And it's not gonna, be something harsh.
It's not Golden Girl Aunt May.
Yeah.
I
loved Sally Field as Aunt May in the Andrew Garfield movies, but I'm excited by this new Aunt May.
And I'm looking at the fact that, like, okay, there's the he's a fanboy on top of everything is also a great fact. The fact that he was absolutely floored that Tony Stark, not Iron Man, Tony Stark showed up. Yeah, he acknowledged the Iron Man thing, but he really loved Tony Stark's brain. That's that he was a fanboy of the science, which is at the core one of Spider-Man's key things that is missed out so much in movies. Was Tobey Maguire a scientist? Nah, he showed up at a lab every once in a while. Was Andrew Garfield a credible scientist? I'm trying to be charitable. No, he was not.
No.
But this kid comes off as someone who genuinely had that love of science, that want and desire. When he was confused that there wasn't actually a scholarship involved in the moment, that was perfect. And then you get, like, when he's in the suit or when he's just doing the wisecracking and everything, his wisecracks were on point.
Yeah,
so much. And of course, it didn't hurt that his foil was, Paul Rudd as Ant-Man.
That was so great. So the trailer for the new Spider-Man, he's sitting in the lunchroom with his buddy, looking at a girl, and he's like, "Oh, she's so hot. When did she change her hair? Blah, blah, blah. We should probably stop staring before it gets creepy." Yeah, we really should. And then there's a girl down at the end of the table. It's already creepy. Yeah. That to me is Peter Parker.
Also, shout out to somebody we've already mentioned once before today that is in the best role I think he'll ever be in my mind.
Sid Caesar?
No, Michael Keaton as the Vulture. Oh my. When they revealed that, I was like, Birdman?
No, I know. Which, by the way, is a really good movie.
Oh no, Birdman is one of my favorite movies of all time. Thank
It's a
you.
confusing experience, and I'm really glad that I watched it. And it's definitely one of those films that Hollywood loves, but it's made so much more impactful because it's Michael Keaton.
Yes.
I think we're breaking a record. We're at 4 viewers. Hello, 4 viewers.
No, we've had like 6 or 7.
Hello, slightly below record viewers.
Yes. No, our lowest is 0. So there we go.
Yes, I was there for that.
Yes, and getting that role right after he did Birdman, I think, is perfect timing.
And then, of course, you've got Edward Norton prancing around in his underwear, which surprisingly didn't annoy me.
Yeah.
It was like Edward Norton was the perfect foil in that movie too. But I digress.
So, Edward Norton brings us to the Hulk. We've had a lot of different Hulks.
Oh my,
Such
so
a
many
good
Hulks.
Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed that there was was it a contract dispute or
creative differences?
Differences that he did such a good Bruce Banner.
He was the one who recommended Mark Ruffalo for the role too. Though.
Yeah.
He was the one who brought them to
job. And the nerdy bromance between him and Tony Stark done very, very well.
Yeah.
And I don't think that we would have had that with Ed Norton's Hulk.
No.
Hulk.
It would have been a kind of cool fest.
I'm actually pretty happy with I say that those two rival each other's. I think for Avengers, I prefer Mark Ruffalo, but I don't ever want to see that Hulk have its own movie. But for having carrying his own movie as the Hulk, I think Ed Norton.
Yeah. And we're not going to see a standalone Hulk movie. The next Hulk involvement is in Thor 3 in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
So
I also don't think that Ed Norton could have pulled off a ScarJo romance like Mark Ruffalo did. That would have been weird.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo's certainly got the tortured and tender side of Bruce Banner down.
Oh, he's got the puppy dog eyes. I mean, he's got it all.
He's so
can
dreamy.
They all beat Bill Bixby?
Yeah, they beat Bill Bixby.
Oh, come on, Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno.
It's classic.
I gotta go for the original,
and it gets an honorable mention.
I met Lou Ferrigno once. He kind of rather insisted I talk to him and like physically picked me up and sat me down in front of him. It was a wonderful experience.
Well, it's because he's partially deaf, right?
Well, and
him
it
picking you up and putting you down in front of him might have something to do with that.
Well, no, it was I was walking by and I hadn't even noticed he was there, and I think that was the tragic thing is nobody was at his little booth he had there at the con, and it was like he's like, "You will talk to me now," and it was an awesome thing.
Because I've heard a lot of experiences where fans are like, "Yeah, I tried to say hi to Lou Ferrigno and he just cold shouldered me," and it's like, he's partially deaf, right?
Yes.
Probably didn't hear you.
And he's had almost as many Marvel cameos as Stan Lee now.
Yeah, not quite. No, he's probably the second most.
The fact that they're now doing Stan Lee cameos in the animated movies.
Oh, look who showed up. Good morning, Shane.
Good morning, Shane.
Good morning.
All right. So I want to move into, and we're going to jump over to DC again. Favorite Superman?
No.
Christopher Reeves.
Really?
Yes.
No. And it won't be Christopher Reeve for that whole spinning the earth backwards to time travel to save Lois Lane.
No. You cannot fault the man for that movie. I mean, there were some moments in his movies where it was just like, really? His enemy is an accountant? Like, there were things where it was off. But he had...
It was Richard Pryor.
I expected him to go back in time and save a bunch of crap lousy whales, and maybe that would have made Star Trek 4 even better. But
yeah, like Superman shows up to stop them from messing with the whales. But it's, if you notice, the fours are the bad movies.
I gotta say that I think that Christopher Reeves is probably like a diehard one for me. I haven't seen anyone really break it. But a good honorable mention does go to Dean Cain because I really did enjoy his Clark Kent from Lois and Clark. And the fact that he's playing Supergirl's dad is pretty awesome.
Okay, that is amusing. Yes. I don't know. I haven't watched enough of Supergirl. Have they had him show up yet? Because the what I watched, they kept mentioning the other guy, and I'm like, way to undercut your character by mentioning there's someone more badass out there.
I think he eventually shows up, but not in the first season. You get like a bit of the cape, but you don't really get a scene.
I'll give it
The
up to that.
idea is you don't see him because
Yeah.
he wants Kara to stand on her own 2 feet, which I think is pretty awesome.
I'll give it to Supergirl. I'll give it to Supergirl for bringing back Calista Flockhart.
Supergirl, the TV show, by the way, is the only Supergirl I can stomach. And I love it.
Can you please show our viewers what is wrong with my wine glass?
Oh, yes. Well,
it's empty.
We'll take care of this.
There's a big hole in the top.
Superman, though, Superman's never been a character that I've enjoyed.
No, he's perfect, and
he's on easy mode. He's a D&D paladin, and I loathe paladins.
But you know, we've been watching an anime series recently called One Punch Man. That I absolutely enjoy, and he's a superhero that is so powerful that he can destroy any of his opponents with one punch. He's Superman. He's completely invulnerable. He cannot die. The problem is he's bored.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to be a superhero anymore because there's no challenge in it. And he goes and he finds the villain and he pops him one in the chin, and the villain explodes and a mountain gets cut in half, and he doesn't care. And it's I think that's and the show is incredibly charming and really endearing, and I love Saitama, and the whole One Punch Man thing is great. Yeah, one punch. And his special attack, by the way, is he just throws more than one punch. It's actually called when he throws his special attack, it's continuous normal punches, and he just throws more than one punch, and he just blows you up with them. The problem is this is what I hate about Superman, is that he's perfect. He's Buffy. He's perfect and pretty and can kick and punch and die, and no one will ever defeat him. But I'm supposed to care something for this character, and I don't.
I'm gonna say he also has the very Buffy problem of, and my love life is horrible, because that's the only thing they can ever seem to make Superman threatened by is his crush on Lois Lane. That's the only major threat they ever seem to be able to pull out for the man. So yeah, not a fan, but I do have nostalgic memories of the original Superman movies, and I love them.
Say that again. Say it again. You do have nostalgia
for the original Superman movies. I do love them. I hold a special place in what should be a heart for them.
Because I think it's because of the natural charisma of Christopher Reeve.
And
I think the actor himself is so endearing. And if you watch anything else that he's done, and I will give a massive shout out to the movie Noises Off, which was the last movie he finished before his accident that paralyzed him, which is about a play gone wrong, is hilarious. And the guy is an amazingly talented actor who did it's what we've been describing before with these other actors, is that it's not his fault. Chris Reeve did the best that he could with
what he had at the time,
right? Which was, let's spin the earth backwards to save Lois Lane.
And there's countless documentaries that talk about the problems with those original movies and the creative struggle that the writer and the directors were having.
But at least there weren't giant spiders.
Sorry, I'm laughing because Timba just said Noises Off, Tim the Doors, which is probably my favorite Christopher Reeve role ever.
And can I give a shout out to Can I give a shout out to the Superman we're glad we didn't have, but I would have loved to watch?
No. No.
Oh, Nick Cage.
Nick Cage in the holographic Superman costume fighting a giant spider.
I'm gonna have to roll this into the actual episode though. Nick Cage is by all accounts not the best Ghost Rider live action adaptation. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has one going on right now that is apparently really good. And
you know how we said Jason Momoa can do no wrong, or Patton Oswalt can do no wrong?
Yeah,
Nick Cage really has a hard time doing any right.
Oh, hey, come on.
Yeah. Sorry, he's rivaling Shia LaBeouf there.
Oh, Con Air.
There were bees involved. No,
So-
Con Air is that rare moment, but
Everybody's got one. I mean, even Keanu Reeves has.
Hey,
I'm gonna
if
stray
Con Air
both.
can make me hate Colomini,
I'm going to stray to fantasy casting for a
There's a lot
moment
that makes
with
me
Con
hate
Air as a
Colomini.
tie-in. If we were ever going to do a movie that had, oh, come on, and I've lost it, Firebug for Batman. If we ever had a Firebug, I'm sorry, but if you don't consider Steve Buscemi, get out.
Steve Buscemi would be a good. He'd be a good Firebug. I also think he'd be a good Mad Hatter.
Oh yes, but I think Firebug would tie in a little bit better the fact that he actually was a firefighter. You know,
But
he has that respect.
If you look at the by that same token, if you want firefighters, if you want a Firebug, get Dennis Leary.
Yeah, well, and the whole
Dennis Leary
thing. So Timu says Nick Cage's last good role was Moonstruck. Snap out of it. Sorry.
not interview. What was the vampire movie he was in? Kiss of the Vampire.
No, just no.
Face Off.
And says Nick Cage is glorious. He's the Congo of actors.
Nick Cage gives me hope that one day I will be a major Hollywood star.
Well, get born from a Hollywood dynasty family, and maybe you will. So let's move on to The Punisher.
Well, if we're going to mention The Punisher, I think we've already Tech has already mentioned his Punisher, which is also my favorite adaptation.
From Daredevil.
Sure. I'm not sure. I have a tie.
Oh,
Okay.
I have a tie.
Dolph Lundgren?
No.
Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane, the short Dirty Laundry, where Ron Perlman is, I think, the bad guy. It's a short film. The Punisher's just trying to do his laundry, and he ends up in a fight. It's amazing.
Was that Thomas Jane? Did they bring him back for that? Because Thomas Jane was the Punisher with Travolta as his foil. Was it the same guy?
I don't think that was the same guy. No. I think that was somebody else, I believe.
Yes. Okay.
I could be wrong. I'm often wrong.
Dirty Laundry was definitely a good fan adaptation and probably one of the truest to character, because it's just he seems so exasperated by the fact that he can't just do his laundry. He's so frustrated and just angry. And I think Frank Castle's at his best when he's really like, really guys, this is beneath me, but I'm gonna kick your asses anyway. Your butts anyway.
I don't like the Punisher is not a comic that I read a lot of or any of. And looking at the modern adaptations of it, the modern trope of casting combat veterans as some kind of villain that we all have to live with, and that every combat veteran is broken, which is why I really, 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 really hate Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Where they portray every Iraq and Afghanistan veteran as some kind of damaged individual that doesn't belong in normal society. I had to swerve out of the road because I thought it was an IED. It turned out it was a plastic bag, and I'm not a normal person anymore because I went to war. Blah. I cannot stand that. But there's something about the second season of Daredevil and their version of Frank Castle that I understood it. It was perhaps the only time I've seen in modern movies where they did the trope of the damaged veteran, and I was okay with it.
Yeah, because he wasn't. Yes, he was a foil, but he wasn't the bad guy. He was in the context of, I guess, what would you consider bad guys in those movies? Because the Marvel Netflix universe, oh my, is that a dark universe where even the good guys are bad guys?
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, I mean, and
they have this tradition in the series. I mean, if you look at Jessica Jones, and where they have the PTSD victim trying to become a better person, main character.
Yes.
And I'm not annoyed by her.
No,
because
it's not exploitive.
Right. It was done wonderfully. And then you've got Kilgrave. You've got David Tennant, the Doctor, playing the creepiest, rapiest bad guy there possibly could be. And I want to see more of him because he's just so bad.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that the Netflix Marvel series so far have been pretty decent. I mean, we're only partway through Iron Fist, and it's the worst of them all, but it's still better than a lot of other shows.
Yeah, I will spoil nothing by saying it picks up and gets even better.
Yeah, Luke Cage.
Yes,
The treatment Luke Cage got, I think, is so powerful. It's when and same thing with Jessica Jones, but I think Jessica Jones we kind of expected a little bit more because of her storyline, but the Luke Cage is so much more important and transcendent. It's more than just a comic book show.
I have to have a Luke Cage story. I have
Okay.
to tell my Luke Cage story. I watched the first 7 or 8 episodes and I was on the fence. I thought it was a brilliantly acted series. I think Mike Coulter is incredible, and well, let's be honest, now he's gorgeous. And the whole show of, you know, Harlem in Reconstruction, and to me it was falling hollow. Because how could you have a blaxploitation movie about a black martial artist in Harlem trying to make it a better place, and you're not going to have the Wu-Tang Clan on the soundtrack, or not even you're going to have you're not even going to have an instrumental soundtrack, and the RZA's not going to be the one doing it, and he does soundtracks now, and even his cousin the Jizz has been doing soundtrack work, and this annoys me. You're not even going to have Funk Flex from Hit 102 talk about how this is what New York sounds like. You're not going to have any of this going on when this is the New York that I know. This is the New York that I love, because I'm a New Yorker by marriage, and I'm very proud of that fact. Like those guys that marry into a Texas family and suddenly think they're Texans. I suddenly think I'm a New Yorker. I get it. But the fact that they had no Wu-Tang in the soundtrack annoyed me until the episode that had a cameo by Method Man. And then he freestyled a song called Bulletproof Love on the radio. And okay, so they got an original member of the Wu-Tang Clan to come on and be in love with this character. And it's you know what? Okay, this gets my respect now because they get it. They understand what it is to be a black superhero in New York.
And I'm gonna roll back to early episodes where Harlem's Paradise was heavily it was a character in and of itself throughout that whole series. And
the musical stars that they got were great.
Anytime they would cut to Cottonmouth or they would show him, they'd have an amazing band in the background. And it was different sounds that suited the Harlem vibes so very well.
And the Harlem that they were trying to bring back.
And that's that Harlem revival. They did it through music better than they did through anything.
Absolutely.
So apparently, Malik from A Tribe Called Quest.
All right, I'll give them that.
So no complaints.
No complaints. All right. Redemption to Luke Cage. If you're not gonna pick the Wu-Tang Clan, you're gonna pick A Tribe Called Quest. So all right, I get it.
And here's the
respect.
Here's another fact with the Marvel series as well, because we've kind of we've been avoiding mentioning the other Daredevil movie, I think, a bit. Ben Affleck's Daredevil,
and that's where Batfleck
has been
his Daredevil has
been redeemed with Charlie Cox's version of the Daredevil. With that, he is genuinely likable. He is a likable man who plays a damaged character incredibly well. And I like his take on it. I like the modern Marvel Netflix take on it. And it opened the door to all of these others. Because if it hadn't been a good adaptation, we wouldn't have had Jessica Jones. We definitely wouldn't have had Luke Cage and Iron Fist. And we wouldn't have the Defenders coming out.
Well, I'm not sure that is true, because when they started Daredevil 1, the plan was to have all 4 and a Defender series. That was the deal.
Yes.
We couldn't have had a Daredevil 2 before then.
I think if he hadn't been successful, though, even with Netflix and the fact that they generally tend to bring things to fruition and give them a chance, I mean, they've given some awful, awful original series chances.
We're looking at you, Hemlock Grove.
We're looking at you, Pacific Heat, the Archer ripoff that was just so bad.
The Australian Pacific Heat, isn't it great?
I couldn't get through 5 minutes of that without wanting to watch Archer and then just watching Archer.
Yeah,
but
So
I mean, they might have given a chance, but I don't think without his performance, I don't think the hype train would have caught on. I don't think people would have anticipated it. I know for sure I wouldn't have been waiting for the moment Iron Fist dropped if it wasn't for the Daredevil series being as good as it was.
Here's my take on the Netflix series. As a comfortably heterosexual man who is now 2 glasses of wine into his evening, this is what I can say. Charlie Cox and that kid from the Mighty Ducks in Daredevil, they're really, really cute. Jessica Jones, the sexiest pair of jeans ever put on film. Oh my God, do I love that TV show. Mike Coulter as Luke Cage, that is sexy.
I'm sorry, but there's someone more important than all of them, the actual hero of all of the series, and that's Claire.
Yes.
Rosario Dawson is the beating heart, the moral center, and the sexiest part of all of those shows.
I didn't get a chance to get to the disgustingly scruffy Loris Tyrell as Iron Fist, which I don't know. He could light on fire in the next episode, and I don't think I'd care very much. I'm just not there yet.
You don't love him yet?
And
you know, he comes off as such a...
And Nymeria Sand as Colleen Wing?
Yeah.
Colleen Wing is pretty cute, but they get so much wrong about Japanese martial arts in that.
Yes, yeah. I think the Danny Rand portrayal, where a lot of people I know that have criticisms of it have said he's out of touch, he's clueless. And I said it myself. He seems like a moron. He seems like he's coming to the world expecting everybody to hand him everything, but he's been away for 15 years. He's a 10-year-old boy, 15 years displaced from the real world.
Yeah, he's got Arrested Development. He hasn't matured properly because instead of growing up, he was sitting in a monastery with his sensei or whatever they call it in Shifu. Thank you.
Who gave him an Aston Martin?
Yeah, he really thought that walking into the front door of his company, "Hi, I'm Danny Rand. Can I talk to my old boss, please?"
Yeah.
He really thought that this would work.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even talk to my old boss. It's talk to my dad's partner because I was 10 when I left.
Right. Yeah. And then, oh my God, this is my cousin. I grew up with her. She was the nicest girl ever. I'm going to break into her apartment and cage her dog in a room. And this is all going to be great. Why didn't she like me for this?
And then, you know, like I can forgive a lot having now seen the whole thing and not saying anything. It's the fact that he was displaced from time. He was in a fantasy world for 15 years. The fact that he has a working iPod after all that time amazes me. But
where did he find a plug in Kunlun?
They had batteries. They had batteries.
He charges it with his chi.
Yes, that's right. He charges it with his chi. He wants it to work, and so it does. That's why he was the Iron Fist, because he was so obstinately concerned with his batteries that he became the master of his chi.
Yeah. So the reason why we didn't realize that it was Malik from A Tribe Called Quest is he is using, I believe, his birth name, which is Ali Shahid Muhammad. We saw that name at the beginning of every episode.
Sure.
So that's good to know. So Netflix series. Any other really good comic adaptations we want to point out here? I do want to give props. Steve, what Tech said might be his favorite comic book movie. Do you want to do this one?
No, please. I don't remember.
We saw Logan last night.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Wow.
I can't believe I haven't seen it because I am utterly and completely forget Batman. Logan is my favorite character in all of comic books, mainly because he's a short, powerful Canadian who everybody knows is Canadian and doesn't go, "Oh, that's good, eh? What's that about?"
And it's not bad that a very tall Australian is playing him because Hugh Jackman kind of nails him. Yeah. Even in the bad movies, he still nails him.
So as a Logan fan, this is what I'm going to tell you to go watch this movie. is that this is the first time in, I think, 7 Wolverines that we've had in the movies. This is the first time that we get Berserker Weapon X.
Yes.
Ooh.
Pretty
There was a
amazing.
brief bit of it. There was a brief bit of it in Days of Future Past. Oh, not Days.
No, there wasn't.
But you needed the R rating for this.
No. What you have seen before is nothing in this movie, and it really makes it worthwhile. And there are tropes in this movie that I absolutely despise. I've always hated, ever since I saw the movie The Boy Who Could Fly, I have despised the trope of the mute child trauma victim who, oh my God, he or she was so traumatized that they just don't talk anymore. I hate that trope. It is garbage writing.
Wait, no, battery's not included.
You know what it is? It's you have a child actor who can't act, so you just picked a trope to get them to shut up so we wouldn't have to deal with their crap acting. And now, the only time that this would have been acceptable is if Lucas had done that to Jake Lloyd. Oh my God, he's a child slave who's so traumatized that he's just going to shut up for the first 2 hours, and we're not garbage acting. But in this movie, it hits you across the face. I really hate the trope that they have playing Laura. Laura. When she screams.
Yeah, when she berserks.
They cast her on that scream, and she does a wonderful job.
And she's a really good actor.
And she's a good actress who just happens to not talk for half the movie.
I'm sorry, I have to follow
this movie.
a tiny
Again,
thought.
we're not going to spoil.
I have to follow a tiny thought. Could we have continued the not letting Jake Lloyd talk all the way to Hayden Christensen, and just had Darth Vader like pantomime everything?
That would have been great. Or if we just overdubbed with James Earl Jones for everything, that'd be fine too.
No, okay. I'm just trying to imagine a subtitled but not voiced version of no.
All right. So in Logan, you have serious feels for both Logan and Xavier. It's worth seeing. Go watch it. It is not my favorite comic book movie. My favorite comic book movie is also rated R, though, because it's so well done, and that is Deadpool.
Oh, yes, I was going to get there.
And Ryan Reynolds fixed the horrible Deadpool.
We don't talk about that. That movie did not exist.
No, he talked about it. What are you going to do? Sew my mouth shut?
Terrible.
Yes, they did.
And he poked fun at himself so much throughout there. Like, don't make the suit animated.
Yeah, green or animated. Yep.
It's it's funny to say that Brian Reynolds was both the best and the worst adaptation of Deadpool ever.
But this proves again the point that I was making about Lego Batman, that this is one of those movies where love for the character and love for the franchise will shine through over everything, and that even if it's a fan paid for movie that nobody thought would ever succeed, like Deadpool, or a crappy kids movie made by a Danish toy company, that it can shine through if it's got the love for the character.
Yeah. And the trailer for Deadpool 2, go look it up, slow it down, read the essay about Old Man in the Sea at the end. Oh, it's spot on. Everything I think about that story, it is spot on and said with Deadpool's voice. It's totally worth it. Plus there's Firefly references in that trailer.
You're assuming I didn't do that the first time?
I'm speaking to the listeners here.
Fourth wall break. I
assume you did.
Fourth wall break.
Yeah.
In a fourth wall break.
That's like 16 walls. Exactly. So, is there any other adaptations we want to throw out there? This is going to be like a lightning round that we need to point at. This was done really well.
If you haven't played any of the video games, I recommend that everybody plays the Arkham series of Batman games. It is the best. It has all of the animated cast of voices, including Tara Strong as a wonderful version of Harley Quinn. So yes, that is correct, ladies and gentlemen. Twilight Sparkle, the My Little Pony, is Harley Quinn and doing a really good job of it. They also did, as a prequel to Suicide Squad, there is an Arkham Suicide Squad animated movie done with Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill.
I think
and
that was
Tara
actually
Strong.
a prequel to the Arkham movies. Games rather.
No, it was
Oh, was
after
it?
it was
Okay.
after the Arkham games, but it was before Suicide
Okay.
Squad the movie, because it has Suicide Squad going on a mission. It's
Mhm.
it's also the one where how can I say this politely? Harley Quinn beds Deadshot.
Oh, true to the New 52 comics. Yeah.
Right. Violently.
That's
Yes,
pretty-
true to the New 52 comics.
Violently beds Deadshot.
Yes.
Well, my recommendation is if you want to see a good DC adaptation, check out animated stuff. Their live action generally sucks, and their animated generally is good. It's a good rule. Marvel tends to do much better when they are the actual studio and it's not Fox doing it. Marvel tends to be better live
Except
action.
for Logan.
Yeah, Logan. Well, again, Deadpool was also Fox.
Mm.
So, but Marvel's animated tends to not be so good, and Fox is hit, and Sony are hit and miss. So
I have to say this about Fox movies, like Deadpool and Logan. They're one-offs. Fox is really good at doing sci-fi one-offs. Firefly, Space Above and Beyond, and about everything else I can mention that Fox has ever done.
They didn't cancel Deadpool halfway through, though.
No, but they sewed his lips shut in the first movie.
Yeah.
And it took fans to get the movie actually made, much like Serenity.
Yeah,
I'm
thanks,
really
Fox.
trying to think of other comic book adaptations that I enjoyed, and I'm drawing a blank. I'm really.
I think there's one for you, XK, that hasn't come out yet that I would love to see. Just like with all the Ninja Turtle movies, I would love to see a good Casey Jones.
Yeah, I
think
kind of liked the Casey Jones from the Jim Henson movies.
With all of the Batman movies that have come out, we haven't gotten Nightwing, and we haven't gotten NITE.
Oh, you know what? I was gonna say it, and I thought that would be a complete digression.
So talk to us about XK, explain for the fans, who is Nightwing and who is Nightwing?
Oh yes, Nightwing. Well, I think we all know who. When I know who you're all thinking when I say Nightwing.
Nightwing is grown-up Robin.
Yes, it's Dick Grayson, all grown up and trying to be his own Batman
in the city of Bloodhaven.
Yes, in the city of Bloodhaven. But he's not my favorite Bloodhaven resident ever. No, that goes to the young orphan Tad Ryerstad, a young man who rivals the Joker in his short time for origin stories that probably weren't true, and who holds the record for being the shortest lived superhero before being shot 6 times. Young Tad Ryerstad grew up watching action movies and reading comic books, and much like we did, except he had no concept of reality or morality. He thought that 80s action flicks had it right. When you saw the bad guy, you kicked his ass and you threw him dead.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, you beat him up and you killed him.
So it's some guy with a baseball bat in the middle of the night calling himself Nightwing, just pummeling people.
He doesn't have a baseball bat. He has billiard cues because low budget, and billiard balls to throw at them. But yeah, he gets shot a bunch of times, and when he goes to the hospital, he refuses to give any other name but the name he got from an all-night chicken wing place, Nightwing.
Nightwing. Wicked.
He's only appeared in, I'd say, 12 comics. I own all of them. I think he would be an amazing character to revive if they wanted to go a different direction and bring someone in the world that isn't in the world. I will admit I've written over 30,000 words worth of fan fiction regarding him, it seems, at this point in time. So I'm not the most unbiased person. But he's still not my favorite obscure character ever. That would be Danny the Sentient Street. Danny was a poor kid who died on a street. His spirit took it over, and now he can teleport around the world and save the Flash.
Okay.
Ouch.
So, Jason wants to remind us, where was it, that if you want to see some awesome Harley Quinn and what she could be and should be, look up the scenes from the Injustice comics between her and Black Canary. They're absolutely amazing.
Her interaction
and
with
they
Lobo.
are. Yeah. Oh, all of that. That is, everything about it is amazing. And she totally outstrips the Joker. She is amazing. There is a fan comic that was done, and I think the artist's name is it Shinies?
Shinies, or he also goes by Nebeziel.
Yeah, and
his real name is Stefan Stepchik.
Yeah.
He writes a bunch of comics, but if you want to see the women of DC done correctly, and beautifully and not exploitively, you got to look up The Art of a Guy Named Shinies.
And there's a great arc that he has penned, drawn, whatever, where Joker tells Harley he's getting jealous of Ivy, and he says Ivy's got to go, and it goes to a really good place, and he gets Harley. He really gets Harley, and it's worth looking at. So we're going to wrap this up unless there's any last minute shout outs. Going once, going twice. Okay. So do you have anything you'd like to pimp, XK?
I am currently working on too many projects that will never see fruition at all.
Excellent. So he would like to pimp his bar fridge, which is empty because he's drank all the Guinness. And Tech?
If you would like to see more of my lessons in trying to learn Aikido the hard way, you could follow me at upsidedownandflying.tumblr.com. Soon to be a podcast. I have recorded 4 episodes on my phone that I have done while walking. Eventually, I will pummel the audio into Nutty's computer and into your ear holes, where you can listen to me trying to rationalize why I have picked this incredibly silly martial art to try to understand a little bit more and suck a little bit less at.
All right. And you can find all of the contact info by listening to the end of this. And thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for 100 episodes. This is pretty cool.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I love all of you.
This is a great milestone. It feels really good.
Except Nick. Nick, I don't love you. That would just be creepy and weird because I work with you, but thanks for listening anyways.
I love
but you
Nick.
love Mike. And so thank you for joining us, everyone. For these last 6 years, even if you weren't here for all 6 of them, you can always go back to all of those episodes. And thank you for the last 100 episodes. Us getting behind a microphone and nerding out has been fantastic. And I love being able to share that with all of you. So thank you so much.
On that note, everyone, I will ask to raise a glass to all of the mixed nutcases and to everyone who's listened and who's listening right now. Thank you very much for the last 100 episodes. And yet again, here's to 100 more. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's right. I just clinked my glass with the mic, not microphone, camera. That's what it's called. I have clinked my glass with, and Jason has raised his beer. So thank you, everyone. Again, and keep your eye on the feed. Goodbye.
Bye.
And that's the end of the MP3. Thank you, everybody, for watching us on YouTube. You can find more information about us at nimlas.org. You can find us on Facebook. Just look for Nutty Bites. It's facebook.com/group/Nutty Bites. And you can find me on Twitter under Nukechast. Just go to nimlas.org. You'll find everything there.
So at which point in this recording can I talk about Stefan Stepchik's real good comic?
I think that's an After Dark.
Okay. Can I apologize for saying 3 words that involve taco being put over them?
I think they were all the same word, but you said it 3 times.
But I did at the end of the last one record a buffer version of it where I didn't say it.
And
Thanks,
it's very
buddy.
funny for those of you who have been listening for the last 6 years. The serial killer is the voice of
Necessary censorship.
Yes, we have read Sunstone. That's how we found out about Shinies, Jason.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about. It's that I own the first 2 volumes. I need to get the rest of them. He is now finished the Sunstone arc and is moving on to the next story, which I think is Montana. He's doing 4 stories based on 4 couples in the same world. The name of each story is the safe word.
And Jason just responded with drool.
Yeah. No, Sunstone is the most amazing comic book ever written, ever in the history of ever.
By the way, thank goodness we lost my brother at some point.
Yeah, well, it's fine, as I can talk about lesbian bondage comics that were found at my house by your sister.
Yeah, she liked them.
Yeah.
she asked if she could borrow them. Yes. So yeah, Sunstone, it's fantastic. You should check it out. Anything else?
Honestly, Bats, look up Sunstone on DeviantArt.
Oh, we didn't even mention your nickname during the episode.
Batman.
So for all of you who are watching still, the serial killer's nickname from me is Batman.
Batman.
I am Batman.
For that.
Are you Batman or Badman?
I was going to do the whole episode in this voice, but I decided it might be a bit hard on my voice, and I need to talk tomorrow.
Yeah. What was it? We had Paul Cooley on Epic, and the gag was for him to do the whole episode as Oscar, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't love you that much," because he does a great Oscar. But we did get Chris Morris being Professor Brain Fever for an entire episode.
He even got mad at me when I called him Dr. Brain Fever. He was like, I'm a professor, thank you. But no, Jason Banks is absolutely correct that I would take a movie adaptation of Sunstone over 50 Shades of Grey any day.
50 Shades of Pooh?
Yeah, because you know what? Because it's that Stefan Stepchik understands what BDSM is.
I would take wrapping myself in barbed wire and rolling down a hill.
True.
Before I took 50 Shades of Grey.
Let's put it this way. I like The Secretary.
Oh,
which is an amazing film.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
But I would still take an adaptation of Sunstone over that.
You know what The Secretary gets and what Sunstone gets and what pretty much the rest of humanity gets, except for E.L. James? Is that the...
I think so.
Yeah. Is that if you are in a BDSM relationship of any kind, of any ilk, and you haven't yet realized that the sub is the one with all of the power and that the dom is doing everything for the sub, and if you believe that you're in a BDSM relationship because as the dom you can hurt with it, you're doing it wrong.
Yep.
And you suck.
BDSM is not abuse.
No, they're two different things. Very different, opposite things.
Jason says, "Oh God, that movie is hot." Yes, it is. It's very hot.
What, The Secretary?
The Secretary, yes.
Oh my God, is it ever?
But it still has its problems in BDSM representation and so forth.
Sure.
But it's a million times better. And it was made, what, 10, 15 years ago?
Right.
Because James Spader was still hot. Once he got to, not Denny Crane, whatever, he was on that show. Yeah, he was no longer hot.
Wait, are we talking about the Blacklist?
Huh?
Wait, is that the same person?
I was talking about Boston Legal, I think, where he was on it with
that was Rene Auberjonois.
Yes, he was on it too.
Oh, okay.
But it was James Spader as the lead guy.
Wait, Odo was in a BDSM relationship?
No.
Is that what was going on with Kira?
No, that was with Quark.
With Quark?
I was going to say Garrick, but well.
Although
No, that was Garrick and Julian.
You know that the intendant was...
Oh, that's twisted. Right. If it was Nana Visitor as the intendant,
yeah, that's a different.
Then absolutely,
that's what the other Esri was around for, right?
Esri, Mirror Universe Esri, so hot.
Yeah, but you know what it is. In BDSM intendant, it's safe words are for sissies.
Yeah.
My safe word is no harder.
Jason says, I'm sure in Mass Effect Andromeda, you can be in all kinds of relationships. That is my favorite relationship sim ever.
When I went to go purchase the game, because I wasn't thinking about it at all. And I walked in that day and the guy at my local EB, Angelo, looked at me and went, "Are you here for Space Dating Simulator 2017?
Nice.
It took me a second and I'm like, yes, I'm here for Mass Effect. I'm totally in it for the exploration.
We want to do an episode about Mass Effect Andromeda, and we'll probably touch on the other Mass Effect franchise games.
Yeah, I'd like to do an Andromeda review episode.
But what is it? 3? Yeah, it's 3 where you totally got to play as gay male Shep just so you can hook up with Freddie Prinze Jr. Hot. He's hot.
No.
Oh, Archie's dad. Oh, I didn't mention Riverdale. That's a great adaptation.
Okay, wait. We're gonna edit. We're gonna edit.
Stop editing.
This is going in.
Editing.
So one of the last comic book adaptations we have to talk about because we would be so horrible.
Are you really recording right now?
Yeah, we're still recording.
Okay.
Don't get in my spiel.
Yes, dear.
We have to talk about Riverdale, which is become like my latest obsession. And I've watched today's episode, which I'm guessing the serial killer hasn't.
I'm going to point out that I gave up watching today's episode right away when I got home because I love you guys.
Yay!
Aww.
We're more important than Riverdale. That's saying something because Riverdale's amazing.
I'm going to say right now, Jughead is totally awesome in that show.
He's amazing. And if you don't love Jughead, there is some... Juggy is so good. If you don't love him, there's something wrong with you.
Now, here's my problem.
I'm Team Jetty all the way.
Yeah, even though I'm still like wanting Betty and Veronica to hook up,
and
I kind of want like a whole 3-way.
I have always wanted Betty and Veronica to hook up ever since
I just gave a cutesy Hollywood nickname to Jughead and Betty off the top of my head. What happened to me?
Riverdale happened to you.
Yes.
It is the most CW of all CW shows, and it is glorious.
So this is my problems with the show, of which there are many, but I will name the top 2. 1, Ms. Grundy is not hot. She's supposed to look like Jughead's mom.
Yes, but you didn't watch far enough to find out that Ms. Grundy was old Ms. Grundy. The one we saw stole her identity.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That was a good subversion. That was perfect.
So horrible. Don't care. 2, that in my mind, growing up reading the Archie comics like we all did, that Betty and Veronica were of equal hotness, just in different in like different flavors, right? It's the chocolate and vanilla.
Yes.
Except that from everything I've watched of the episode snippets that I've seen and just cannot force myself to care to watch anymore, it's that that Betty is like beat yourself in the face with rusty chains, exponentially levels hotter than Veronica.
Hmm?
Oh my God, Betty's so hot.
No. But I get your original point where they're supposed to be different kinds of hot. That's where it comes across to me, as it does. Because I thought you were going to say the opposite. I thought you were going to say Veronica was that way, because that was my initial impression. And I think I've checked that she's legal for me to be able to say that.
But then again, Bats, you and I have always disagreed on this, because I remember we have had this long-standing feud over who is the sexier Dax, because I will always pick Jadzia and you will always pick Ezri, and we can both agree that they're both hot,
which is funny
because both different flavors, but you are wrong.
Did we have a flavor switch? Because suddenly I'm going for the catty one.
Well, you know, and the funny thing is, the serial killer and I have closer tastes in women, but
you both find me attractive, so there we go. We all
so it all works.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for me, why would you choose? Let's just have all the Dax because it's wonderful.
Absolutely.
Although I will
even
say,
the serial killer one.
Oh my God, she's the hottest. And by the way, Mirror Universe Ezri is so much hotter than Mirror Universe Jadzia.
I think we're suddenly on a different episode where it's who's the best Mirror Universe.
Yeah, character. Wait, we were supposed to go back to Riverdale, but anyway.
Riverdale for me.
Wait. But Betty and Veronica are equally hot and different flavors in this, and I think that Veronica starts out hotter in her attitude, and then Betty, as you end up seeing all sides of her personality, becomes so much hotter, and so like it's an ebb and flow kind of thing. Like one episode you might be all for Veronica, and one episode you might be for Betty. But what I love about Riverdale is in the comics, it always kind of feels like there's an animosity or a competition between the two of them. That's not a thing in Riverdale. I mean, they even have at one point where Betty's into Archie and Veronica ends up kissing Archie, but she's like, yeah, but no, I care more about the relationship with Betty than I ever would about any boy. And I feel terrible about it. And they end up realizing that their relationship is the most important there. And that's what I love. It's not a competition between women.
I'm going to point out, for me, the CW-ness of the show is one of the major not failings. It's one of the things that I kind of irks me and makes me think I shouldn't like the show as much as I do, because the CW has taken one of my absolute favorite comic book characters of all time and made him into a whiny, frustratingly emo dork. Oliver Queen is not supposed to be emo. He is supposed to be brash, in your face, laughing all the way to the bank. Arrow has done wrong by him.
Yes, but I'm not done with Riverdale.
Riverdale has all of those little elements that romance is more important than plot, that everybody's pretty. It's like even Big Ethel isn't Big Ethel, and that frustrates me that they've gone.
But she's
super cute.
What's the girl from Stranger Things that goes missing?
I actually haven't watched Stranger Things beyond one episode, but which is weird because it seems right up my alley. But it suffers from all those things, but at the same time, it's love of what it's doing. Again, it goes back to love. The love of the source material is what redeems it so well.
Yeah. And because we have these tropes that we have known for longer than any of us have been alive, because Archie Comics has been at the forefront of comics forever.
Yes.
Okay. The forever Archie Comics. I mean, because they have been in grocery stores from day one, and they were on the front end of digital comics. Mm-hmm. They were everywhere. Yes. You need to interrupt my point?
No, I wish to go next. So I'll finish your point.
So because we have all of that background knowledge, they're able to use that to make you care about certain things and to not have to explain certain things, which is fantastic. I love Josie and the Pussycats in there. And I love Kevin is involved. And I love a bit about Moose. All of Reggie and everything. So Tech, yes.
So Jason, I have a question for Jason, who is listening in and commenting here. Buddy, do you want as much as I do to see a Betty and Veronica comic drawn and written by Stefan Stepchick?
That would be great. That would be awesome. I'm answering for him. I can tell you that what Jason says about Riverdale is Archie does take both in the end and has a poly relationship. I see a bit of a triad, if anything, or maybe Betty and Veronica are together and Archie might end up with one of them, or maybe it'll be Betty and Jughead and she's also with Veronica. I don't care. I don't care.
The thing for me too is it was I watched Riverdale as a laugh because I worried that it was going to be emo Archie. I'm pleasantly surprised by the fact that Archie remains the clueless center of everything. But when it opened up with a murder and shady sexual shenanigans right out of the gate, I was hooked.
I thought that was going to be a problem, but it ended up not being a problem.
Jughead's narration over that dark undertones of the town made it, and Tech seems
He's reading the chat.
Yeah, but that's what got me. And then I kind of felt guilty until it started getting really good.
Yeah.
And I'm pleasantly.
Hi, Alan.
So I was gonna say FaZe has joined us from Finland.
Hi, FaZe.
And
I'd say hi in Finnish, but
and it's okay, he's Irish.
Okay.
He just lives in Finland. Yeah, that'll confuse you.
Right. Okay. So my Irish sucks too.
But he's never read Archie, so he has no idea what's going on, and he wanted us to get back to the hotness of Dax.
Oh,
yes.
And everybody wants to do things with Esri.
Okay.
Go ahead.
To everybody who thinks that Ezri is hotter than Jadzia, you're all wrong. Ezri is her own levels of hot, but
Yeah.
Okay, and this is how I can win this argument.
Mhm.
Watch this. Everyone pay attention right now. Nutty, honey,
Yes,
I married you because you're more like Jadzia than Ezri.
that's true. I am, but I don't want to sleep with myself.
No, but I do.
Okay, then. That's good.
Hooray!
Ow, ow, ow.
Tech wins.
That was too hot.
no, it was
Huzzah.
just fine.
No, it burned the mic.
I think another episode completely on Mirror Universe characters and who was the best would be good.
Alternative versions of
Alternative
characters
versions of
is a
characters.
good episode idea.
Absolutely.
Can I point out what I'm going to say the worst is?
Mhm.
And this is a weird admission. I'm just finishing Enterprise now. I
Okay.
have never seen the
I'm
last season of
I'm
Enterprise.
doing a rewatch.
I haven't
So-
started Enterprise yet.
So, having watched it, their Mirror Universe episodes were the blandest and most pointless Mirror Universe episodes in all of Star Trek.
I
There's
haven't
no
gotten
need-
to those.
Okay, because there was no need to care about their characters. None. They didn't interact with their regular selves, so you had no desire to care about the plot, or at least I didn't.
Mm.
But that's a way big aside.
Speaking of alternative characters in I believe it's Archie After Dark or After Archie, I forget what it is, where Archie's dead and he comes back as a zombie.
The Punisher makes an Archie cameo too.
Apparently it's true, he does. Apparently, after his death, the ladies end up taking care of and being with one another. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
And yes, Faze, we did talk about the intendant and how awesomely hot she is.
Yes.
That was during our BDSM talk.
Is that Huomenta?
Yeah.
Or something similar in Finnish to say good morning? Or is,
Huomenta?
yeah.
I don't know
Anyway.
if there's a ch in it, but it would feel like
is it
should
a
have
gech at the back of like
is it a
back of-
ch or a hool?
Is it a gech, a gech?
Wait.
Why
When
do
did
I
we-
feel like a Mars Attacks
When did this
alien
become a-
right now?
When did this become a Mel Brooks moment?
It's a gech at the back of the throat.
Yeah. So apparently we were right. It is Huomenta. See, knowing Yiddish helps you speak Finnish. So apparently they also fight the Predator in Archie.
Oh yes,
See,
yes.
Archie goes a lot of really awesome places, and oh man, do you think Sabrina's gonna show up at some point?
If they have
Riverdale?
if they have her as a cute pagan girl, I wouldn't be unhappy at all. If they bring actual magic into the series, I will be sad.
Yeah, but I mean, how cool would it be if there was like a black cat named Salem walking around?
And it talked.
No. Only
Archie
when you're
tries
drunk.
Archie tries drugs for the first time and sees a talking black cat that introduces itself as Salem. Episode written.
And I will say, like, the actors that they've got in that, not just like the kid actors are pretty great, but like most of the adults are people we know.
Can I admit in a moment of sadness for myself that I thought they stole Hermione from Harry Potter and forgot that it was her actual name?
Yeah. The what is it? Luke Perry
Oh yes, Luke Perry.
as Mr. Andrews is amazing.
Mhm.
But what's her name? She was in Head of the Class. She was married to Mike Tyson. Is it Robin Givens that's playing the mayor?
Yes, yeah.
So there's a guy that
Josie's
I worked
mom.
with years ago that Nutty met.
Yes.
He is a short, fat, bald man with small round glasses and kind of a pointed nose. He's a bit of a jerk. His last name happened to be Weatherby. And everyone called him Mr. Weatherby. And I just thought everyone was being sort of oddly polite to this older, balding, fat man with a pointed nose and a bald head and kind of a grumpy demeanor. And then I realized that, oh my God, it's Mr. Weatherby from the comic books.
He does look like Mr. Weatherby.
Like 100% like Mr. Weatherby.
And you also worked with somebody that looked like Bobby Hill, but his name was not Robert Hill.
No, look, not Hill.
Yeah. Bobby Hill from King of the Hill.
Yeah. His
He
last name-
loves my cupcakes.
right. His last name happened to be Burns.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to say his name.
I am totally going to say his name. But no, and his nickname was Bobby because he looked exactly like a grown-up Bobby Hill.
It's okay. My one of my bosses now looks distractingly like Michael Keaton.
Is it Batman?
Does that make you Alfred?
In that whole thing, no, that would make me
Robin?
like.
So try this. The next time you're walking with him down down one of the hallways or whatever, just take off your pants.
No,
just take off your pants.
No, it would make me like Edward Nygma working for the Gotham PD, sort of, maybe.
I still recommend you try taking off your pants. I think that'll work.
Now I want Gotham Series 3 to come out now. I'm sorry, I'm distracted again.
So I'm confused, FaZe, about, are we talking Patrick Stewart for Professor X level math kissing? Matching? Yes, we are talking. Yes, matching. Yeah, he Mr. Weatherby looks like the live action version of Mr. Weatherby.
Well, the Mr. Weatherby they have in Riverdale doesn't.
Yes, but I'm good with that. I'm actually really happy about a lot of the diversity that was added to Riverdale.
And all around their casting has been good.
Like Reggie being Asian and all of Josie and the Pussycats being of color is.
I'm slightly okay, and I'm going to admit I was confused for like I was confused for like 3 episodes as to whether Reggie was Asian or Native American because they didn't show him enough.
I assumed Asian, but I could be wrong.
Now I got to look it up.
Cheers.
He was Ross Butler. Okay, so yeah, he's Asian.
There you go.
But
what variety does it say?
I don't know.
Did you ever see the made in the early 90s Archie Back in Riverdale live action movie they did that was like straight to TV?
No. I'm
for
confused.
The trope. So by then, Veronica's parents are dead. She is the heir to the company. Betty is a school teacher. Archie is a lawyer. Reggie is chain of gyms and used car dealerships. Jughead is a single father / psychiatrist that everybody in town goes to see, who ends up in trying to earn his son's trust in helping his son earn the affections of a local girl, manages to do a freestyle rap. It is the early 90s, a freestyle rap version of Sugar Sugar, which was the Archie's big hit.
Now I have to see this.
And I think my favorite of all of the characterizations is that Moose and Midge are the town chiropractors. And it's just Moose going around beating people up like he always did, but now he gets paid to do it. And Jughead spends the entire movie avoiding going to see Big Ethel because she's just weird and gross and she had this crush on him. Huh?
Sorry, I couldn't remember the name of the character. Big Ethel plays Barb in Stranger Things. Go ahead.
So he finally gets to Big Ethel's house, rips open the door, and the punchline is she's a bikini model. Her in the comic books, she was just going through an awkward phase. Right, yeah. Yeah, it was horrible.
90s.
90s TV movie, and for all of the bad 90s tropes, it's worth seeing.
FaZe says that sounds horribly terrible, or sorry, wonderfully terrible.
Yes.
Like the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie level terrible.
No. There are levels of redemption to be found in the Dolph Lundgren Punisher. Like, for one, Dolph Lundgren's amazing and an Olympic athlete. This has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. It happens to be crap all the way around, but still worth watching. This is Fate and Plan 9 from Outer Space levels of horrible.
Don't you disparage Plan 9 from Outer Space. I've been also remiss in not pointing out that this is the second television Flash adaptation that is currently going on, or currently it is the current one is the second adaptation of the Flash. There was a mid-90s 10 or at most 10 episode Flash that was all grim, dark, and
I remember not wanting to watch Tyler.
Yeah. Whereas the
But
current
let's
one
not
is,
confuse it with Flash Gordon.
but yeah, the current one is actually quite enjoyable. On the kid they've got playing Barry is probably the best casting a CW DC adaptation has done.
Are they going to use him in any of the movies?
That's the thing, is the movieverse is completely going to be separate. I understand, from my understanding. Whereas Marvel has gone and said, and they've done it with Agents of Shield a bit. Those universes are all one massive universe. DC is shying away from that because
Right.
DC.
Now, did they use in having not seen any Agents of Shield and not really is that the one set in the 40s?
No, that was Peggy Carter, Agent Carter.
Right.
And
so Agents of Shield, does it have Kobe Smulders in it?
I don't believe she might have showed up once in a while.
So the guy who plays the Flash's dad in the current show,
Yeah,
played Flash in that old one in the 90s.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah. See, that's a good callback because the old 90s one was 90s garbage.
Okay, I haven't seen it, but I'm sorry, FaZe. I have a hard time believing the musical beats Once More with Feeling. Just gonna put it out there.
Wait, the musical in what?
In the Flash.
There was a Flash musical?
Yeah, it just happened like a week ago. You might have been at sea.
I haven't, honestly, since the first season of Legends of Tomorrow, I haven't watched a DC CW show, mainly because of their poor treatment of Oliver Queen. I'm kind of boycotting them.
I have only seen what shows up on Netflix, and I loved Supergirl.
The first Arrow season was actually really good. They went with my favorite origin, which is the one where he's like stranded on the island by nefarious means and ends up fighting heroin dealers. They used that. They did well, but it's when it got like 3 seasons in and he started getting super emo that it just sad.
So I didn't want to derail the conversation earlier, but
Yes.
Is there a comic you haven't seen a movie of yet that you want to see a movie of? And I know we mentioned Nightwing, which I really want to see that as well.
I will be back. By the way, FaZe and anybody else tuning in, this is after show stuff.
So
Yes.
is there any comic book out there that you haven't seen an adaptation of that you're really looking forward to seeing? This is where I get controversial because I'll tell you mine.
What's yours?
I really want to see a good comic adaptation of Ghost in the Shell because whatever the hell ScarJo is, see a good comic of Ghost in the Shell, which I don't know, maybe has a Japanese cast.
Can I point out one small thing though? I did see a series of videos where they were in Japan doing press for it. Like it was on the street style stuff, and almost everybody they interviewed on the street was like, "Oh, she's good for the role. It wouldn't look like an anime if she was Japanese."
Her name is Motoko Kusanagi.
I get that, and I get that it's actually a horrible adaptation. I'm just saying.
Right, and here's the other thing that really annoys me with what I've been seeing in the trailers is that she says, "Hi, this is Major." No, this is the Major. Your rank is, you are the Major. You have that rank. Your name is not Major. Your name is Motoko Kusanagi.
Yeah.
Your rank is, I am the Major. And the fact that they lose that definite article, proves that they know nothing of the comics or of the animated works or of the animated series, and they just don't give a crap. They're in it for the payday. And the other reason that proves that they don't give a crap is that they did a show about a strong sci-fi cyberpunk style woman character who goes around beating the crap out of everything in the world, and they didn't get Luc Besson to direct it. The guy that gave us Lilu Dallas Multipass, that gave us La Femme Nikita, that gave us the Taxi movies, that gave us everything else, that gave us Leon the Professional.
He can't do everything.
No, but he could do Ghost.
He could do so much better. Yeah. For me, I think I would love
And
to
the
see.
fact that if you ever look at him, he's a really creepy Kevin Smith.
I mean, since Marvel is hitting it out of the park these days, since Marvel has been doing so well, I want to see an adaptation of Alpha Flight.
Is that the Canadians?
Oh yes.
Captain Canuck?
No. Guardian.
Guardian, Wendigo.
Yeah. North Star. Like Puck.
Absolutely.
I want to see an Alpha
let's see
Flight.
some Alpha Flight.
Yeah. I personally love. Well, everything's going slow here. Where is it going? Can you still hear me?
Hello?
I think everything has kind of gone slow connection-wise.
Yeah, I think we're starting to stutter.
All right, hang on. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm checking my background stuff too.
Wine,
Wine.
bucket of wine.
Yeah, wow, everything's going slow.
Yeah, I don't have
Might be on
any.
our part.
All I've got is Steam, but Steam's not doing anything. But
So we've got a couple of chats here. Let's see if I can go back. FaZe wants to see 2 movies. Marvel 1602 and Superman Red Sun. Ooh, Superman Red Sun could be fun, but they've got to make they got to be able to handle Superman. They just suck at it.
yeah.
1602.
Go ahead.
No, I'm thinking of something else. I'd like to see a Batman Court of Owls.
Oh, that'd be fun. I'd like to see that as like maybe a TV show miniseries. I know they were supposed to do they did do Agent of Carter, but I never saw it, but I want to see it.
Can we
Again, it hasn't made it to Netflix.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chew, Irredeemable. Oh yeah, The Last Man, because the only women who survive are the hot ones, not in any way misogynist. T says that Ghost in the Shell was good. Yeah, I heard the same thing from Zach Ricks, but spoiler alert, there's no Tachikomas, so no, it can't be good.
I'm gonna
Hello,
say
Major. We are robots.
The adaptation of great, now I've lost my train of thought. Brain reactivating. Nope, gone. I had something. But
It's okay, you were stuttering anyway.
Yeah, we're losing audio.
So we've also got that Major is the dumb boyfriend in iZombie. Yeah, Major's pretty good. Faith says that perhaps the Wachowskis could do it, or at least it would look really pretty. I believe that's about Ghost in the Shell.
Only if they do the first one and don't do sequels, because those last 2 Matrix movies are an acid trip.
I'm sorry, what 2 Matrix movies? There was only one.
I'm sorry. It's the wine. You're right. There's only ever been 1 Matrix movie.
Well, there was the
and we're down
Animatrix
to
that kinda
3 frames per second. That stinks.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I
I think we're coming to the end.
Yeah. I was going to say there is one Ant-Man. As far as Marvel and Ant-Man, there's one Ant-Man I wanted to see that we got a bit of, but that was the Irredeemable Ant-Man.
I loved the movie Ant-Man.
It was so funny, so good.
Paul Rudd was the perfect casting for what they did.
Oh yeah.
And I'm so glad they didn't go with, spousal abuse Ant-Man.
I'm sorry. Wait. This is from Jason. What? Where are my spider tanks? Exactly.
The fact that the gag that made all of Ant-Man worthwhile was the keychain that he had of the Sherman tank. That wasn't a keychain, because when it enlarged and turned into an actual Sherman tank that he used as a MacGuffin to get out of a scenario, it's like, okay, you guys are having way too much fun with this.
Yeah,
I love it.
I also really dig The Best Friend.
Right.
Yeah.
And when we watched Fury, and what was our casting for Fury? It was Lestat the vampire, the kid from Holes,
Kylo Ren,
and Ant-Man's best friend are in a tank together.
Percy Jackson, don't forget about
Percy Jackson in a tank in World War II
with the Punisher.
Yes, and the Punisher. That was another one. Yeah,
the Punisher,
the one from the TV show.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what started it.
Grillo.
Yeah, that's what started it. I'm like, I know that nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all in a tank together in World War II. And my God. If we're going to talk about Fury, wow, that was crap. Bad World War II movie.
Yeah. We should talk about World War II movies at some point.
And I will say, by the way, the Frank Grillo is so much better as the Punisher than he was as the best friend from Walking Dead.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna for World War II movies. I suddenly backtracked to the fact that I watched Apocalypse Now twice this week.
That's Vietnam.
The Redux. Yes, I'm going to backtrack to a different.
Oh, the
form.
Redux. So you watched the extra hour and a half of crap
yes,
to go on top of the crap?
I know. And it's like, if we're going to talk war movies, that's a bit overrated there. It's although, and it sounds controversial, but the Vietnam War had the best soundtrack of all wars.
It did.
Oh my God, did it ever? So can I share a war story?
Mm-hmm.
Afghanistan 2009, I finally get to go into a helicopter to test fire actual machine guns in an actual war zone with actual helicopters. So I'm in a helicopter with a C6. I have 200 rounds to fire at water barrels to make sure that they work. And in my headset, I am screaming Surfing Bird, Woolly Bully, and the rest of the Chopper soundtrack in my head as I am yelling at the top of my lungs, firing the machine guns, going, bird is a word, bird. Yes, you're right. The Vietnam War has the best soundtrack to ever shoot machine guns out of a helicopter because it's so worth it. And it was a Vietnam era helicopter because I was in a Chinook.
I've only been in one helicopter before, and I was very worried it was going to fall apart under me. Yes. Nothing has been more
was it the
harrowing.
one with the stop sign?
Nothing has, well, yeah, it was that same one. Nothing has been more harrowing in my career than a landing in a Sea King on a freaking flight deck of a warship at sea. Even the most minor swell, and you're watching the whole ship buckle underneath you and move, and it's like, can you lower me down with that horse collar again and I can run away? Because I'll just jump in the water. You can rescue me. Oh, wait, no.
I can swim for at least 12 minutes. I'm cool.
Send the boat, though. Send the boat to save me.
Even that inflatable one. Go ahead. Throw one of those over.
Even though one of ours lit on fire this week.
Who lit an inflatable boat on fire?
Well, no, the rigid hull. The engine lit on fire, apparently.
Well done. Is it your fault?
No, I was
done.
Yes, he lit the life raft on fire with the sound of his voice. That's how gravelly he can get.
With the radios. Yeah, my radio lit the rigid hull boat on fire. Wow.
They don't let me on the radio anymore.
No?
Although, you think I curse on the radio a lot. Someone cursed on a tactical net today.
Well, I do think you curse a lot, but yeah.
One of the guys gets on the tactical net. He calls out, can't hear anything, and it was for taco's sake. After he had identified himself on the network.
Dude, you're holding down the PTT switch. Oh, taco.
Well, but one of my very first times ever on a tactical and on the bridge of a warship. I'm sitting there, and there's two phones in front of me. One is the tactical net, one is the phone, and they're both identical units, but one goes like in and out of the ship. And the one from the CCR starts ringing, and I pick it up. Bridge, ordinary Simon Gosling. And it's the wrong one. And I clue in. And I'm still keying. And for about 5 seconds, I'm just staring at it, realizing that there's still a phone ringing. And then I'm like, oh, taco. And then it's disregard this transmission out. Click. Pick up the other phone. Bridge, ordinary Simon Gosling. Yeah, I'll go down and clean the heads.
So Jason wants us to do an episode about Westerns. I think we might have, but he says Django Unchained was a marvelous Western. Do you guys consider that a Western?
Yeah.
Yes.
I really do. And it was really good.
It was good.
So was Hateful Eight.
I could that they are talking about that as well in the chat. I could see doing an episode about alternative history.
Right, because we can talk about Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah, but I was going to say half of that would be a Tarantino fest.
I'm okay with that. Tarantino is fantastic.
Yeah.
I want to start a bromance with him.
Over me, I'm jealous.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what?
It could be
Batman
a throwaway.
is jealous enough because you've been spending way too much time with Jason. So,
Oh,
Could be
oh,
it
no,
could-
it's all love. Come join the chocolate love.
it could be a broway.
bro,
Absolutely a throwaway. Hey, Jason, we're going poly up in this thing.
oh boy, no, you're not.
So, I have
Still
to
gotta
tell you,
start that
I have to
wrestling
tell you
channel.
my radio story. Overseas, 2003, we were doing camp security, and they had given me we all had personal rural radios, so they got about 300 meters range. All 10 of us in the section are connected into this radio net. I had just come in from my first night patrol in the Jeeps while wearing the new monocular night vision. So I've got infrared vision in one eye, normal vision in the other, and I'm trying to drive an Iltis around the camp. And it's pretty lumpy and hilly as we're following the fence line around the camp for an hour. So when I come back, I could see out of one eye, kind of see out of the other. And one of these things that they don't tell you about the monocular night vision is that as great as they are, they give you really good vertigo. So I get out of the Jeep, my inner ear is just going nuts. I am nauseous. I'm sick. And what they were the kitchen, we were a night shift. The kitchen was serving a midnight meal, and when the midnight meal was done serving at about 1 a.m., they would take all the steam trays of food that they hadn't served. They would bring them to the front gate and give them to the guys on shift and say, "Here you go, guys. Here's all the food you didn't have. Enjoy some hamburgers, enjoy some steaks, enjoy, whatever." So all of this like rich, like fatty food comes, and I'm really hungry. I'm also nauseous, and I smell the food. I'm like, guys, I gotta go. And I go to the bathroom. And I realize as I'm in the bathroom that the headset to my microphone is like this right here. It's like down right in front of my mouth. I was like, well, I don't want to puke on the microphone. That's just gross. So I move the microphone up here to about my nose. And as I'm just like waves and waves of nausea are hitting, and I'm getting really close to throwing up. In my ear, I've got my headset, and I've got the 10 guys in my section. They're all on the mic going, "Yeah, come on, do it. Come on, puke till you're pretty. Come on, do it. Puke like a freshman. Yeah, yeah, yeah." And they're just goading me on. And just as I finally vomit, I key my headset. So I transmit. I'm like, into the microphone, and I transmit, and then just, why did you do that? Oh my God, because vengeance is awesome. And I just keep transmitting, and I transmit my whole sick attack.
That's horrible.
And I finished my shift. It was a great night.
So, someone typoed "hateful 8" in the chat, and typoed it as ATE.
The eightful 8?
No, the hateful 8.
Oh, the hateful 8?
Yeah. So
zombie movie.
Exactly. So Faye says he wants a zombie movie called The Hateful Eight. Everyone says they're down for that.
Sounds like a Kevin James movie.
Yeah. And
no,
not funny.
Sounds like a Trailer Park Boys episode. Trailer Park Boys zombies? Oh my God, that'd be so awesome.
That'd be horrible. That'd be so bad. But I don't think we've done a zombie episode, so we might have to add that to our story. Then
if we do an alternative fiction episode, can we talk about Iron Skies?
Yes.
Because that was so good.
Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Yeah. Also really good.
And Shane says, "Come aboard the love train." Faye says, "Zombie love train." Jason says, "I've heard this story."
There's an anime for that.
Yeah. And Jeffrey Rodrigo wrote a zombie love story, which I think I remember it.
We do love Jeff Dorigo's writing.
We do love Mr.
his
Jeff.
By the way, his superhero world,
so cool.
The best superhero world
Union
ever.
Dues
The Union
should
Dues
get a series.
Oh my God, it's been optioned.
Yeah.
Do something with it. Oh my God. Bats, you have got to find the Union Dues stories. They are so good.
Yeah.
Googlings.
And it also happens that Jeff Dorigo happens to be the nicest, most approachable guy on earth. And I've had long conversations with him on Facebook. He's a fellow martial artist. He's a Hapkido black belt. He's just
He's a runner.
a long distance
Runs
runner.
in Captain Marvel's costume.
Yeah,
Old school.
absolutely. Shazam! Happens to be a really cool guy.
He's a digger.
Okay.
Oh, those crazy diggers.
FaZe is a digger too.
Sup, digger? Jason gets why that's funny.
But oh, and he's a soccer player too. Yeah, everything. He's an awesome dad, all around good guy.
In his house.
Hey, when were you in North America? How did I miss that? Boo.
Boo earns. I said boo earns.
Bored. But yes, we will definitely have to do a zombie episode. I have things flying at me. But I think we're gonna
High School of the Dead.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to wrap this up, yes, because I am out of wine.
I'm not.
I have food sort of waiting for me.
No, you may not drink my wine.
I just wanted to sip.
back. You were gonna drink the whole thing.
No, I wasn't.
You
Look,
were gonna drink the whole thing.
Nope, not the whole thing, but now you make me want to drink the whole thing. My tongue isn't quite blue yet. That's a little dark,
It's pretty.
but my lips are blue.
I have 3 more Guinness to drink
So
and Mass Effect to play.
FaZe says only once since I got sober.
Excuse me while I whip this out. No, Jason, put it away.
FaZe says I should drink the whole thing. Lovely.
So in the future here, the very near future, I have to look into the logistics of setting up a pro wrestling podcast.
Talk to Shane. You and Shane would have an awesome wrestling podcast.
Absolutely, talk to Shane.
Tech is not on rye because I opened a bottle and I am not allowed to drink a bottle of wine by myself anymore.
No, and I forgot to pick up Mix on the way home, so I'm not drinking my rye neat because I don't hate myself nearly that much.
So which episode was the single
So
bottle of
look at
wine?
Nutty's face that she's gonna drink the whole thing.
What? So which
I have
episode
I
was
have
the
a
single bottle of
question.
wine?
I have a question for Shane and Bats.
You're not on mic.
Why am I not on mic?
I don't
know. Here.
All right, here we go. So
Yeah.
I have a question for Shane and Bats, which are going to be the hosts of the world's greatest wrestling podcast.
Yes.
Can I be on the episode where we talk about all the reasons why we love Bailey?
I was going to say you can be
Yes.
on all the episodes if you want to.
I don't watch nearly enough wrestling because I don't have cable.
So I don't. I do. You want to? You want to see an honest admission of awful for a wrestler, like a huge wrestling fan?
Mm-hmm.
I watch YouTube clips and download the pay-per-views these days because the WWE network in Canada is being strangleheld by Rogers and the major cable companies. If I want to watch the network,
Mhm.
which is a $9.99 thing in the States, I have to pay $60 for cable first to watch a streaming service online.
That's the
So-
same issue with HBO. So
They've
okay.
robbed me.
So Jason Banks says he would only get back into wrestling to help you guys do that podcast. And Shane says, of course, Bailey is amazing. So FaZe, you were in North America in 2011, 2012, 2013, and yet I wasn't invited. What the heck? That's North America. That's sorry, New England. I could have gotten there.
Yeah, can we do a
Grr.
podcast about why we hate FaZe?
Yeah, we hate FaZe because I've known him probably as long as Sci-Fi Dig's been going, because I think he was one of the early listeners.
So
He was
almost as
definitely
long as
on-
you've known me.
No. I've known you longer than podcasting, please. I got into podcasting like
Yeah.
you'd been dating for 4 years,
Oh, okay.
5 years, something like that.
Still,
No,
my
3
point
years.
is
Anyway,
my point is made.
it's quite a long time. And FaZe was, yes, with your bizarro voicemails, and he was in one of the first Digger chats that I hosted. So yeah, early Digger
Oh,
stuff.
speaking of, since we're back on video, Bats, have you seen my new ink?
I have
Oh.
not.
So
No.
when I was promoted to warrant officer,
Everybody's
uh,
gonna see text tattoos now.
right? When I was promoted to warrant
You're gonna have to
officer,
get close.
I will in a second. My rank moved, right? Because my rank went
Yeah.
from here down on my sleeves.
Yeah.
On the army uniforms, we wear marksmanship badges on the left sleeve and your trade badge on the right sleeve. You guys wear your trade badge up here, if I remember correctly, right?
Trade badge isn't, well, yeah, if you're talking dress uniform,
Yep.
epaulets or a collar.
Right, yeah, right, on your collars.
Yeah.
We wear ours on our right sleeve.
Yeah.
So when I got promoted to warrant officer or a P1, my rank moved down to the end of my sleeves, so I lost those badges.
Mhm.
So I put them back on. So I will move closer to the camera.
Nice. Very nice.
Ta-da!
Awesome. Yeah.
So this is the trade badge,
Yep.
and this is the regular one, and this is because you made it to sergeant. Yep. And this over here is marksman. I had to shoot good to get that.
The thing that I'll never get, considering I've failed the last 2 C7 shoots I've done.
Hey, Tech, do you want to show off your other tattoos since it's after show?
Sure, hold on. Let me take my shirt off.
See, you are getting naked for this. We did have a discussion about whether or not clothing was coming off for the 100th episode. Apparently, it comes off for the after show.
So this is the bonus clip, is it?
This is the
Yeah.
bonus.
Yes.
Oh, show off your shirt. That's a cool shirt, by the way.
Awesome.
There.
I want one.
How naked am I getting?
Yeah, just take off your shirt.
What kind of question is that?
All right, so
Yeah.
he's got you've got the maple leaf with the fleur de lis inside because he is Canadian first, French Canadian after. This little stick figure there is from the Saint because he is a stick figure with a halo, kind of. More ink is going to end up going. Turn here is going to have the cross of Lorraine, and back there is going to be a red balloon. And the piece de résistance.
A red balloon, because 99 red balloons won't fit on my arm, so I'll just put one.
And
That's my favorite song.
the big piece is the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's got the full wings back there. Ta-da! And
I continue to have absolutely nothing.
Hey, Bats, by the way, I have saved a spot on the back of my neck for the barcode off a 2-4 Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I still keep saying that I promised Shelly that she would be there for the first tattoo I ever got. So I'm holding off. Yeah. Holding off for the moment.
So and FaZe just recorded the very last episode of the Gatecast. So for all you Stargate fans, there's what, 6 years of that? It's like 10 years of that, right? And
there's a lot of Stargate to cover.
Yep, and now he's starting Babylon 5, which has less.
I love Babylon 5 so much. I have to go back.
Mr. Garibaldi.
I want to build
and FaZe says that ouchie ink on the inside of the arm. He's got Babylon 5 ink. Ooh, what's the Babylon 5 ink? Jason says he wants to see a strip frenzy.
Babylon 5 ink. I want to see this.
So Hugh, Scribe, and Jason started a Gundam Wing podcast. Wow.
I love all those people.
Yeah, I know, right? FaZe wants to get a Wolverine over his left pectoral.
Right. So over my heart, I've decided on the tattoo. I've just got to go get it, but I'll probably get it as my celebration of my black belt in Aikido. In our style of Aikido, in our style of martial arts, there are two people that do techniques. There's Shite, who's the guy who does the technique, and Uke, the person who gets the technique done on them. Uke in Japanese means to accept, to receive, to be the victim of, and many other variations thereof. In our school, in my gym, I am the guy that gets demonstrated on. I am the Uke for life, because if there's one thing I can do, I'm skinny and I'm light and I fly real good and I can take a lot of pain and my shoulders are flexy. So I get beat up a lot. So over my heart, I want to get the character for Uke, and above it, I want to get the characters for our style of Aikido. Because I am the Uke for life. Because this is what I do: is I get beat up for a living, and it's the best thing I've ever done. The problem with this is that in yaoi culture, which is gay male comic books in Japan, Uke, the word for to accept or to receive, Uke is the submissive catcher.
Yeah, in one subsect.
Right, which is why I want to get the character for Uke and that the characters for Aikido immediately above it. Saying that no, it doesn't mean that. Shush, be quiet now, child.
I've got
the audience in the silence.
all of the ones I have planned, and I've got several are traditional Royal Navy tattoos for actual sailing achievements. I've like sailing marks, landmarks for me.
Bluebirds.
Either sparrows or swallows. Although the piece I want to get done, the like dream piece I want to get done is a Chinese style dragon half sleeve, where the dragon actually is dissolving into a flock of sparrows, almost like it's coming from mist, but it's all sparrows. Because the sparrow is supposed to represent 5,000 nautical miles sailed, and I've sailed so many of them that
FaZe, that is an amazing tattoo.
That's pretty awesome.
I love it.
now I got to look at the chat, don't I? Or the
No, you can't.
okay.
Oh, I can send you the link. Hang on, because I can send it to you in our chat.
Okay.
Mr. Garibaldi. That is an amazing tattoo.
I just want to say I want to build a motorcycle in space. It's just
True.
Wow,
there's a bloopers
that's-
reel from, I think it's season 5, and Lanier's unpacking his backpack, and he pulls out the robot from Lost in Space, and it starts going, danger, danger, Will Robinson. And then everybody gets a laugh, they joke, and then he can't turn it off, and he's like, stop, fuck, shut up. And he's like beating up the robot to get it to shut up.
You said a bad word.
Yeah.
yeah.
Really cool. So Jason says, why do you think I pay for this podcast tech? Apparently it's to get shirtless tech.
Shirtless tech, baby.
See,
You got to pay more for pantsless tech.
Really?
That'll cost you extra.
I didn't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
No, you just lived here for a week.
Well, he doesn't. It's true. Shane did that too.
Yep, absolutely. You live here for a week, you get pantsless tech.
That's
It's
true.
just
All
what
you got to do
happens.
is come visit. So Jason doesn't exactly pay for it. He donates to the Patreon.
Thank you,
Hmm.
Daddy.
And because of him, we have 2 episodes a month instead of 1 episode a month. He pays tech to catch. That's why.
Damn! It's gonna be that kind of episode.
And FaZe invited you to come to Finland so we can sauna together.
Oh, a Finnish sauna.
Only if we do the jump in the ice water right after, because that sounds awesome.
I've done it before. I'll do it again. No, it's more the flogging me to hell with pine needles. I'm not looking forward to, but the jump into the icy water afterwards. I've already done a polar dip. It's an electrical fire. It's weird, but it's really refreshing.
Shane is talking about how drunk he got when he was here. Yeah, we saw Shane very drunk.
I don't think I get
Birch
very.
twigs, thank you very much.
Huh?
I think
Twigs.
Okay, Bert. Well, excuse me.
I think I try to
like
avoid
quality.
getting-
What are you saying, Batman? Sorry.
I try to avoid getting very drunk these days.
No, but you probably drank more than Shane did when you were here. This is because you are a Navy man.
Oh, it's because Australia. I don't remember the city of Perth.
Oh, I was going to say Australia makes you a
Oh.
Navy man. I'm
Yeah.
confused.
No.
Okay, so let's keep asking these questions. Hey, Steve, how much do you remember of the Philippines?
Nope. Moving on.
Never been.
Thailand?
Never been.
Oh boy.
This
Okay.
next year will be Vietnam, hopefully Tokyo Harbor, and hopefully Saigon and a few other really good places. Next year is another 6-monther for me.
Nice.
Yeah. Although the timing is weird, but yeah.
So your anchors is your anchor gold yet?
No, mine is not even silver yet, oddly enough.
Really?
I've done the last time I put in for a posting to Ottawa, right? We talked about that. I put in for the posting.
Yeah.
The reason they turned me down was because I don't have enough sea time, apparently.
What?
I did 99 days at sea last year, and I have credited to my name 764 or 765 days at sea. That
Do you
doesn't
gotta,
include.
like, hit 1K or something? Like, what's the deal?
I think it's actually like 1,200 for the silver is a 1K or something weird like that. I'm not even sure anymore, but that doesn't even include foreign port time. So if we're sailing into or in or sailing out of a port, it doesn't count, and it doesn't count all the time I've spent staring at Victoria while we do circles, which I would wager is another year.
So if, let's say, you went into Perth,
Yes,
and while you were there, a widget in the engine room was broken, and you were stuck there for a month,
it wouldn't
none
count
of
as
that
sea
time
time.
counts as deployed.
No,
That is garbage.
yeah.
Although
it's different calculations for that and for sea pay time. So it
Right.
would still count. It would still count for certain things.
Sure.
But
You're still
yeah.
you're still getting paid while you're stuck in a foreign port. You're just not
Yeah.
making time towards.
So any time tied up doesn't count towards this.
Pretty much, and it doesn't matter where it is. So it's a weird metric for sea time. I've done plenty. I've spent about 4 years of my life at sea, and still kind of enjoy it. More so now that I have people working for me. So.
And I will say this one thing: we're still real proud of you for. Because guess what? I spent 13 months of my life in a desert. I'd rather spend 13 months in a desert than bobbing across the Pacific. So, that being said, I'd rather spend 13 months of my life bobbing across the sandy bottom of the Pacific than the rocky bottom of the North Atlantic. So, hooray for picking the left coast.
I will still say I would rather the ocean try and kill me.
I would like to bob in the ocean and I'd get the best sleep of my life, but I've been on those Navy boats and they are cramped. No, thank you. I'd rather a merchant ship where I have some space.
The single moment that I can define my love of the sea by was a moment it was 2005 heading to Hawaii. And we were approaching 3 storm fronts off the coast. Well, it's not off the coast. I mean, in the middle of the transit that we were advised strongly by command ashore to avoid. And my captain at the time said, no, we have timings to make. And we hit the George Clooney style perfect storm. And I'm not even kidding when I say on this massive warship, waves were going over the mast.
Yeah.
We were suddenly in the air. This massive warship took air for 10 seconds at a time on some cases, where there was no water underneath us at all, and then we crashed to the water. And it was the moment where I'm standing on the bridge watching all of this, and I realized with every wave, the ocean has failed to murder me. That is when I felt the most alive. In that moment after, it was, I've seen all you can throw at me. Try again. And then it did.
So Faye's called, I hope Faye's called Tech a landlubber, which yes he is. And he said that your story is leading up to a repeat of Tech's vomit story. But I want everyone to realize that I am the one with the most sea legs on this cast right now.
It's
because
true.
I have been sailing since I was 2 weeks old, and I live on the water, and the only time I sleep well and restful sleep is if I am on the water. There's something wrong with my bed not rocking with the waves.
No, I am very, very firmly a landlubber. And in deference to our good friend Jason Banks, the airborne veteran, I am also a leg, because falling out of airplanes, as much as I would love the adrenaline rush and I would love to hurl myself skyward, the 22 feet per second landing on my ankle and knee, which is made of some type of warm cheese. And hey, Nutty, while we were showing off tattoos, let's show one more zipper. Hold on, let me move up here.
Oh, you're showing your legs off? You get a load of these gams.
So let's see if
I don't think that's going to show up on camera.
But there's a zipper
That big.
right there in the side of my thigh.
Yeah.
And
that's from my IT band surgery 10 years ago, which means that this homie not fall out no planes.
I'll still say, though, if you guys make it out to this coast ever, I'm going to take you out on a boat.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, you will.
Only if we get to fire guns from it.
And if we cross the border, we know somebody with a naughty boy sailboat.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
so do you, XK.
I'm not sure what you were referring to with the Naughty Boy sailboat, though.
It's the name of it, and it's
Okay,
owned by a certain Cardassian we are friends with. There you go. Yeah.
So if I ever make it out to the coast, I've had this dream for years that if I ever make it chief warrant officer, my dream, I have these dreams like being in the backseat of an F-18 and going aboard a sub as it goes under, because I don't want to do a career as a submariner. I know I wouldn't last, but to do like a sail.
If I ever set foot on a sub, even on the gangway of one, I am conscripted to submarine life for life, and no thank you.
Really?
No thank you. Yeah, that's my trade is one of those trades they grab and they go, you want to go subs? We're going subs. And it would mean almost instant promotion for me, but no thank you.
Our logistics officer has got sub dolphins.
Jason, wait a minute. Jason says he doesn't mind the sea because it gives him things like halibut. So Jason, you gonna go swimming? Mm-hmm. You gonna go swimming in the ocean? Come on, Jason. Tell me how you're gonna go swimming in the ocean.
Hey,
I've been scared of sharks.
I've been swimming in the middle of the ocean where there's shark. We got a guy with a rifle looking out for sharks.
You guys been to Steel Beach?
Yes.
I swam with sharks. They swam right by my head. No problems.
Oh my god, I'd love to do a Steel Beach. That'd be so cool.
It's one of my we did a Steel Beach off of the coast of San Diego just recently, last summer. I've done them in the middle of you cannot see land anywhere before. Those are singularly wonderful moments where you swim a little ways away from the ship and then you go, I don't think I can make it back. And there's nothing around me. No, wait, I'm a stronger swimmer than that.
Yeah. Well, my goal, and the only time that I was going to be able to do it is because they were going to close the channel. But I wanted to swim from the South Shore of Long Island to Fire Island to swim the entire Great South Bay. And there was going to be a swimming race, and I signed up for it. It was for the tricentennial of the town I grew up in, and they ended up canceling it because not enough people signed up that they couldn't cover the insurance. So upset.
Yeah. I would like to swim the English Channel, and by swim I mean water ski the English Channel, because I don't think I can swim for that long anymore.
I know I can't swim for that long.
Water ski the English Channel, though, that would be cheeky. Be like, I've made it.
I made it 4 seconds after you did driving the boat there, Tech, but I made it across. I drove across the English Channel. I am awesome.
I don't know that I'd want you to drive the boat, though.
What are you saying?
Yeah. No, nothing. Everything would be fine.
I've driven boats before.
They won't let me.
Huh?
They won't let me.
Well, that's not your trade, man.
No, really. I have driven boats in a military context.
Yeah, they won't let me. They're afraid.
I used to drive when I was.
I'm sorry, Tech. Do you want to read Jason's response?
Oh, here we go. Hold on. What do we got here? Jason Banks says, First off, I don't mind the sea, but my black butt ain't swimming in it because whales come in it. That is true, my friend, Mr. Banks, but it's still pretty fun.
Do you
So
realize
Faith
that
wants to know what your trade is.
I am a naval communicator, a man with a weaponized voice.
He is the official voice of a naval warship.
Yes,
I
the
was
voice of the Winnipeg that stopped pirates because his voice is that awesome.
Well, yeah, no,
And the
no.
warship is kind of impressive too.
We are deleting this. We are deleting this broadcast.
No, we're not. So you better keep your mouth shut. if you
I'm
don't
technically
want
not the voice of a warship anymore. I'm the IT guy.
Yeah. Oh, he says you're Batman. That's true. He is Batman.
Yes.
So, you know what's really funny? I think it was about a half hour ago, maybe an hour ago, that Batman told us he had food waiting for him.
That's just salad.
Oh, well, then that's fine. But this has been awesome. But I think we're going to wrap this up.
All right.
I enjoyed the after show. Thanks for hanging around with us, guys.
Well, thanks a lot, guys.
Always good
Faith
fun.
has been in IT since '96, which is awesome. You guys hadn't graduated high school by then, but we'll be quiet about that. Anyway, thanks for joining us for the after show. This was a lot of fun. I've got a lot of editing to do to get that Riverdale back in there where it belongs. But thanks for joining us. Thanks for 100 episodes, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Just in case you need it, taco.
Taco.
And by the way, he drank the rest of the wine, not me.
Yeah, he did.
Uh-huh.
I saw it.
Mhm.
Right.
Goodbye, everyone. Stop the broadcast.